Yep. Got another re-signing in this thing. Got another re-signing. Tamere Robinson back at linebacker. Tamere Robinson, an interesting player. He's a player. Seemed like he got burned at the beginning of the season. Didn't seem like the second half of the season we kind of like tightened down the linebacker rotation with Walker, Gentry, and Stevens. But he got some early burn. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me correct his name. I put Tamira. My bad, Tamir. That's that autocorrect. I'm talking about. But yeah, nice young player we keeping in the program. Nice young player we keeping in the program, man. We were signing these players. We signing him. Maybe we ain't going after another linebacker in the portal. Maybe we done in the portal. I hope not. I hope not. Fight on, Drew. What's up? But I ain't mad at Tamir Robinson signing. You know what I'm saying? He a portal linebacker we got. Like I said, at the beginning of the season last year, he was good with it, y'all. He played in the first half of the season, didn't play that much in the second half. They tightened down the linebacker roster, so hopefully he take that step forward. He another player that got the physical talent. It's another player we want to see take that jump forward. We gonna need it, especially if we done in the portal. If we done in the portal, we gonna need all our young players to step it up. Hold on a minute, y'all. Yeah, we need the young players to step up. Like if this is we done with in the portal, and these is one of the players, especially if we get a DC that run more three linebackers. You know what I'm saying? You know, Grinch like to run Grinch Lean like to run two linebackers. So depending on what DC, we gonna need some more linebacker depth. So this is a good depth signing with the potential to improve. Like Tamir Robinson got the potential. He just ain't put it all together yet. We got a couple players who ain't put it all the way together, but got that potential like Shelby and Crawford. Where they dudes, they look like dudes, and they got the body mechanics and they got the physical requisite for their position, and they flash just ain't put it all together. So the linebacker room all year was a mystery. The linebacker room all year seemed hesitant, seemed they wasn't triggering on their keys fast enough. Now some of y'all say it's hard to play linebacker with the offensive lineman in your lap. That's true, but I don't think our linebackers they seem like they was thinking out there, right? Instead of reacting. And you want your linebackers to be out there reacting, man, instead of thinking, playing fast. I'd rather the linebacker guess wrong than don't guess nothing at all, than guess too late. You feel me? Rather you guess wrong than guess too late. So hopefully this another linebacker that we'll see. Alex Graham ain't re-signed yet. Yeah, man. He gotta come on home. I could have yeah, he haven't re-signed yet. I thought that Alex Graham had re-signed because he heard Belk was coming back. Yeah. Alex Graham signed. Alex Graham, I was about to say, like, didn't he sign? And that's a sign to let y'all know about the coaching search. Like, it's certain coordinators that we ain't being willing to give it up. It ain't been announced yet. Yeah, it probably ain't. But I heard that he signed behind the scenes. Right, I'm hearing the same thing as you. He wanted to make sure Belkin then was coming back. But USC they like to drop things strategically. Like they just don't drop random news. They got a method of how they drop their news. Like they like to drop it and spread it out, and they be trying to create momentum and positive narrative about USC and the direction of the program. So I know that for sure because my cousin he had re-signed like 2 or 3 weeks before they announced it. He had been re-signed. They didn't announce it till like 2 or 3 weeks later. So USC, they be sitting on their signings. They be sitting on their signings. And it seems like they sitting on this DC search too. Well, this is the limit, y'all. If y'all don't know, the dilemma is, USC had covered a job. The only reason we ain't got our DC yet is because we refuse to give up our assistants. And if no DC take the job without taking our assistants, guess what? Then he ain't gonna be your coach. You know what I'm saying? So it's either he need a DC or the new DC keep our staff on. You want Graham starting at safety? What's up, Ruiz? Nah, Graham looked too nice at the nickel. He could play both. I'll move Graham around need be, but at practice I have him running with the nickels and in the safeties. But I get it. He just need to be on the field, but his cover skills look too nice. That depends on if Albert Hill. Now, if Albert Hill come in, he a day one barter like say Alex Graham, right? See, Alex Graham would have started day one at the nickel, right? After Prophet Brown got hurt. So if Albert Hill come in ready like Alex Graham, then we might could slide him at that nickel position and let him rotate it with him and Prophet and have Graham at safety. But I don't know. Graham, I would want to keep changing player position. So he was playing nickel all last year. I just wouldn't want to be like the next year. All right, let me put him at safety. Why you say Alex Graham not coming? That's news to me. Heard he resigned behind the scenes. Yeah, we got Urlacher, but I'm willing to give our young safeties a chance. I'm willing to give D Reddick a chance, uh Ruben, uh Gallegos. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to give the young guys we had in the wing. We got three safeties been waiting in the wing going on their third year waiting. Reddick, this will be his second year, but Gallegos and Ruben, this gonna be their third year at USC safety type. And Ruben can play safety and nickel too. So it's like instead of moving people around the field holes, let the young talent get in. That's what they did with Kamari. They moved Kamari to nickel until Graham got back, but I would have never moved Kamari off the safety. He was making too many plays at safety in this land defense the first year they came. He was all over the field. Then he played nickel and we didn't even notice him. And he did a good job at nickel. They wasn't really throwing his way, but he wasn't able to make them plays. Like his first year at USC, he was getting tackled for losses, interceptions, all that. So I don't like to move players out their position to try to fill a weakness in the roster. That weakness in the roster, maybe it's a player there that you need to develop. Develop your high school recruits. Why I got to move Alex Graham to safety? And I'm not trying to get on you like it's not a bad idea, and I think he'll ball. But why would I do that when I recruited what three safeties, Reddick, Gallegos, and Ruben? They've been in the program multiple years. Before I change positions, I'm gonna give them a shot. And you got Erlacher, but I'm gonna give them a shot before I take Alex Graham out of position that I know he was shining in, and we need help here. We need help in that nickel, and he the answer at nickel. I love Prophet Brown, but I'd rather have Alex Graham there. Desmond sucks. I think Desmond he got better. It's mental with him. It's all on the coaching. You feel me? So I feel like if his mind right, he be a student of the game, know how to read offenses, his awareness, his play recognition. If that rises, he got the talent because he got the speed, the athleticism, and the strength. I think, excuse me, I think Jaden Walker is ahead of him though. Sam Hewitt has not resigned. You said USC is at the player limit. Well, they always could take away a scholarship. For instance, if Cam, I know Cam Coleman went to Texas, but if a star player was in the portal, right? Let's say a star defensive lineman hop in the portal and he want to go to USC. USC gonna make some space for him if the money make right, right? If the money right. So I feel you. We at our roster limit. We probably ain't gonna take nobody and make room for nobody unless they're a star. Like we're gonna develop our players before we take some players that's mid or don't even have the ceiling as our players, right? So we got some young dudes who maybe ain't show the production on the field yet, but they ceiling high, and we ain't gonna get a dude that play the same position and they ain't showing a superstar or conference type production. We ain't gonna put him in there because you know what I'm saying. We might as well stick to the player with the higher ceiling. I would have wanted the I would have wanted Stevens. I would have wanted the linebacker this year too. You know what I'm saying? Just to replace the experience that Gentry had. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked to see like a senior type linebacker, or maybe just a high productive linebacker that's coming off a 100 tackle season, right? So when I look back at it, we kind of bargain shopped in the portal, like I kind of thought we would. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I mean, we committed to this high school class, y'all. So I guess we was never gonna be able to really go big game hunting in the portal. So that's why I said it's gonna be the Fab 35 year. That's why I said that this team is gonna be freshman led. Like we gonna have the most freshmen out of a lot of schools that see the field. Cause I'm telling you, Winfield and Waffle gonna see the field. Promise you. Feel like Edward Hill gonna see the field too. Know what I'm saying? Mark Bowman, he gonna see the field. So we is going with the youth movement, and we got a brace for another tough season. It might be an 8-4 season, y'all, unless Shelby finally unless our players take their next step, right? If Shelby, Crawford, Jakeem, Floyd, if they all take the next step, and then the young dudes like Wafle, Wingfield, uh, Tom, Ely, right? If they come in ready to contribute and they can contribute like Floyd and Jakeem did, then we got what we need on the roster. See, that's a tricky thing about USC. Like, we got holes that we wanted to fill in the portal, right? But the players on our roster got a high ceiling, got as high as a ceiling as anybody in the portal. Ceilings be high. Even our players that went out, like when Devon Tompkins hit the portal, he was like one of the top rated defensive linemen. And if you just look at his portal rankings and what they say about him, you would want him on your team. So the players we got on our team, they got the high ceiling. So we only gonna know how much we needed to portal with this team in the middle of the season. Like we ain't gonna know how much we needed because, like I said, if everybody turned out, if Shelby take that next step, if everybody that's already there take that next step, and then a couple of these freshmen is ready to play, and the transfer portal guys do what they do, like Van Summer and keep being a little nice run stuffer, of Devin Bryant, keep having a good run grade. If everything go right, then we do got enough. But see, that's the thing. Like the portal is like kind of make you ain't got to be a developer no more. Like if these guys ain't working, you could go out and get somebody developed. So I'm saying if we could get development, like we really gonna see what our coaches really like, because there's gonna be a lot of kids that gonna be their third year under these position coaches on the defense. It gonna be Henny third year. It's gonna be Belt third year. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these players we gonna really see like is Jakeem gonna take the next step? Is Floyd? And then you can't fumble with Wayful. If Wayful don't come and be a star, then that's coaching. But see, that's what I'm saying. The development and coaching on this team is still a question mark. We know they great recruiters, but the coaching, Like it's development. And now we got superstar players to really superstar talented players that we could really see with your development. Because a player like Thanos and a player like Wayful, as a coach, it's no reason to fail unless these kids are just screwed up mentally, like they 5150, like they personality is jacked up. They was never gonna make it. Besides that, it ain't gonna be no excuses. Like if you don't develop Luke Wayful and Winfield and Thanos, that gonna be an indictment. If you don't develop dudes like Talanola Ely, Kenye Pepe, Elbert Hill, that gonna be an indictment because this is 5-star talent. And we seen that they never got Anthony Lucas up the par. They had him for 2 years. They didn't get Anthony Lucas was a 5-star. He never played like that on the field 2 years under their coaching. Know what I'm saying? So it's like we finna see because Chad Bowden is slowly giving the coaching staff no excuses. Is no excuses. Tamere Robinson signed. What's up with it, Trojan fight? Nothing. This breaking the news at work. First, Alana Noah signed. That was big. For sure, we needed that. For sure, we needed that. And then we get Tamir Robinson depth. So now we just talking about the whole roster. Like we didn't smash and we didn't go big in the portal and get no superstars. So it's up to us to develop what we got. I was talking to the boys the other day. We was talking about Indiana and all this and what be going on in the transfer portal, but you don't need the transfer portal when you recruit at the level of SC. What you need is development and retainment, right? So we having a roster now where it's NFL level talent, NFL level ceiling. So these guys got to turn out, or they're gonna be on development. Like I said, Braylon Shelby, NFL level type physical talent and gifts. Cam Crawford, same thing. Jamion Winfield, same thing. Floyd Boucard, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Desmond Stevens, Jaden Walker, same thing. Same thing. We got NFL talent in that front seven. So it's too many players. It's gonna be interesting to see who hit. Like if we got a decent coaching staff that can develop, out of them players I name, at least half them gonna hit. So you got Shelby Crawford, you got why am I drawing a blank? Oh, you got G Day, right? You got Jakeem, you got Floyd. That's all NFL level talent in them trenches. And Desmond Stevens too, and Jaden Walker, right? And then add to that Winfield and Wayful, and then add Tanella Ely, and then Tabo, who had 174 tackles. It ain't gonna be no excuses for this coaching staff, right? All them dudes got so I just named like 7 or 8 dudes. At least half them should turn out, right? So if we get half them to turn out, we'll be decent. That at least be a one deep that's sick. So that at least be, say Winfield and Bucard turn out, that's two dynamic players in the middle, right? Or Winfield and Tom, right? Then on the outside, you got Wayful, Crawford, Shelby, right? One or two of them should turn out. Then so on and so on. So we gonna see what this coaching staff really about, especially in their third season. That's supposed to be the season you shine, when you didn't recruited the players you wanted for 3 straight years, and you didn't have 3 straight years that had a chance to develop your culture. So this is a year I'm gonna have to see development. Why were you depending on true freshmen? It ain't depending on true freshmen. It's we gonna play the best players, and I get you right. You don't want to have to rely on true freshmen, but when you got special freshmen, like it ain't asking too much that be like Luke Wayful. Hey, can you give us 10 snaps this year? Because the way you looking in the All-Star game, I mean, the kid had 23 sacks and 37 tackles. So yeah, I think it's more of a not depending on freshmen. I'm just talking about the coaching staff in the future. Like it's talent there, and it's a lot of NFL talent, and we gonna see what they development like. Like I want all the freshmen to be extra. Like I want to see Braylon Shelby and Cam Found take that step. I want to see Jakeem Stewart and Floyd Bucard take that step. Right? I don't want to depend on the freshmen. We want the freshmen to be icing on the cake. Look, J Dub, like I'm not blaming it on the coaches, man. Like, don't come in here like trying to defend the coaches. I'm just saying it gonna be the coach's third year, and we gonna be able to start to see how they develop players because there's a lot of talent there. Now you say the player they didn't get the players they wanted, but Jakeem Stewart was a player that everybody wanted. Henny wanted Floyd Bucard. Like Stewart and Bucard wasn't no settles. Like, oh, we couldn't get nobody else, so we'll take Thanos and Bucard. Nah, they wanted Thanos and Bucard. You know what I'm saying? Now, Wayful, they want all them too. So I'm really only talking about the second year players and the first year players. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not blaming them necessarily for the older players not turning out. I'm talking about Floyd Bucard, Jakeem Stewart, right? Alice Graham, dudes like that. That's they recruits, and that's they only college coach, right? So them is they guys all the way. They wanted them guys, they got them guys, and they got them guys on the field as freshmen. This class is all they guys. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these last two classes. This class and the last class is guys they wanted. Now, it's some guys we missed out on, but a lot of guys we got, we wasn't selling it. You know what I'm saying? So even when our NIL wasn't right, we still got some of the players we wanted. And we showed did pony up the money for Thanos. So it ain't like it's a roster full of kids that these guys settle for, man. Like them guys is slowly going out the door. You feel me? Them guys is slowly going out the door. Even Tamere Robinson, that's the coaching staff guys. They went and got him in the portal last year. The coaching staff was here last year. That's one of their guys. So when you look at this roster, all right, let's go over the defense next year. What it look like on paper? All right, Shelby came in for this staff. He ain't one of their guys. Cam Crawford is one of their guys. Right? That's our two edges. Gerard Fisher is one of their guys. They got him in the portal. Right? And then Luke Wayful, that's one of their guys. Now let's go in the interior. G Day. I believe he one of their guys too. And then we know Floyd is one of their guys. And Jakeem is one of their guys. Then we go to the linebacker core. Y'all want me to drop the link? I'll drop it. Then we go to the linebacking core. Stevens, Walkers. That's their guys. So the next year team is gonna be 70% our coaching staff guys, bro. So they got a lot of players they truly wanted. They didn't get all of them, but they got a lot. And the players that are gonna be playing next year on defense, 75% of them, 80% of them gonna be their guys. Like, who ain't gonna be their guy? All the safeties gonna be their guys. All the safeties are either 2 or 3 year players. What's up? What's up, Leon?
Order, what's going on, bro?
Man, a little busy day with the re-signings.
Hey, we got Lonnie Noah, man. That was huge.
Oh yeah, I know you happy about that.
Hey, we bringing back our entire starting lineup, man. Remember how Lonnie Noah looked? I mean, not Lonnie Noah. Remember how Elijah Page looked that first year, especially against Michigan at the Big House. Then he came back last year, and he looked good up until he got hurt. I'm expecting Justin T to make a similar ascension. You got Lonnie Noah. It's going to be in his fourth year starting. You're going to have Raymond at the guard second year. He's going to take a step. And then I think it's going to be a fight with Killian O'Connor and Brett Colajay at center. So I like the way we look on offensive line. Quarterbacks, running backs all look good. Wide receivers, lots of talent. What's there not to like on the offense side of the ball?
I ain't gonna lie, I still want a center. What's up, dang Trojan?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, man, it's a good day. To talk about the point that we're talking about, is there enough talent and relying on freshmen? I think most Trojan fans believe that there is truly enough talent on this team. Now it's just a matter of getting more physical. And I wanted to bring up a point that I want everybody on stage to comment on. Because I think, in my opinion, it speaks to the development. So we all know how Bear Alexander was when he was at USC. You know what I mean? Some could say he was lazy, just bag chasing. He wasn't in it for the team. But then you see him go up to the Cucks, and he's all Big Ten. So, in my opinion, I think that should be a slap in the face to our coaching staff, and maybe some things need to change. Of course, like physicality, and that we could do a way better job developing these players, because Bear seemed like a lost cause, and then he goes up there and he's all conference, and he has a high draft grade for not this year, but for 2027. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
You want me to
You
go,
wanna go
Carter?
first, Leon? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first. Listen, Bear quit on the team. Letting Bear go was Lincoln Riley saying, if you can't get down with the culture, you got to go somewhere else. And as far as Bear looking better in Oregon, okay, that was his last shot. He either did it there or he wasn't going to do it nowhere. I was there at the Michigan game at the big house when USC was up, and all they needed was one third down stop, and the game was over. The running back, they double teamed. Bear got off the line late, let a tight end push him off the line, and the running back ran right past him. Lack of effort. And
Facts.
then you get upset because they don't give you a little bit more money, and then you quit on the team and redshirt for the rest of the year. So I really don't care what he did up in Oregon. He quit on the team. And I do think we have enough talent. If you look at the development of Floyd Boucard, who was a 3-star, he looked really good last year when he was able to play until he got hurt. Look at the development of Thanos, freshman, balling on a broken foot for a majority of the season, playing injured. I think we're going to be okay. Look at Desmond Stevens. We found out that he was playing with a broken rib for a majority of the season. That's culture. Not giving up on your teammates. That's culture. So I think we're going to be okay next year. A lot of the guys who were first-time starters are going to be in their second year. They're going to have more experience. And I don't know if we're going to rely on freshmen, but seeing what we saw from Waffle and Jamion Winfield, they
That might
might.
be a good idea.
Yeah, you exactly right, Carter.
Yep. And
Waffle looked
Bear,
like he could start.
yep. And just to answer his question about Bear, you can't blame nobody for Bear once you know his outside off the field dynamic, his family dynamic, Tony Jones. Like Bear went to like 4 different high schools. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So he nowhere can make him happy besides Oregon. And just like Leon said, that was like a make or break year for him anyway. That was a make or break year for him anyway. But that kid went to 4 or 5 different high schools. Like he said, he quit on us. He wasn't happy with his snap count. But they was like Bear be lagging in practice. So you Bear was the type of player to where he wasn't mature. Maybe he matured. Maybe it finally clicked in Oregon. Like maybe somebody talked to him. Maybe they looked at their past like, look, we done went to 4 different high schools. This our third different college. Maybe we need to look at ourselves a little bit. But what's up? Music make me high. What it do?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up? How y'all gonna be doing? Listen, with the Barry Alexander situation, anytime you got a player that transfers from Georgia, which is a powerhouse for defensive tackles,
That's
is
a red
something wrong.
flag. Yeah, that's a red
If
flag right there, huh?
if Kirby Smart said you can leave, something's wrong. So I think with Bear, he was more lazy, but his name is it Tosh Lupo? Is that the coach's name? The defensive coordinator from Oregon that's going to Cal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got a lot more out of Bear. Now I don't know what's going to happen next year because I'm not sure who the defensive coordinator is going. Bear last year, so, and then also too, Bear was around a whole lot of talent. Bear wasn't just by himself; he had talented
Right.
players around.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot to that, man, with him. But like I said, the only thing the USC that I want to just touch on, man, and Lincoln Riley, because I'm a Lincoln Riley hater. Y'all already know that. I'm a USC lover, but Lincoln Riley. But listen, I
Same
hope
here.
that Lincoln Riley understands the talent he's got coming in. I hope the defense coordinator understands the talent he's got coming in. Because Luke Wayford's going to be a monster. I don't know how much you got to pay to keep that kid there, but he's a monster. Thanos is a monster. So these kids are going to have to get on the field. They can't be sitting out red shirt and stuff like that. They got to get on the field. And it's a difficult schedule next year. So, if USC, goes 9-3 next year, I wouldn't be mad about it. But I know the next year after that, they need to be competing for national championships because they're going to have too much talent.
Nah, for real. Hey, Leon, J Does asking you something. He said
Well,
the numbers is the same.
guess what? J Dubs must know me because I was already looking at some stats I was going to bring up for you guys.
They know you the stats guy.
Hey, I'm the stats guy. Do y'all know that the boy we brung in, Alex Van Sumeren, has better stats than Bear?
Way better.
Way better.
Well, but also too though, we want to see what. But also too, going to see what Alex can do at USC because it's a different ball game for Michigan State versus USC. Same conference.
It should be easier. It should be easier with us.
No.
Well, we hope it is.
USC brought him in for one reason only. We put you in the middle of that defense. We expect you not to get moved. I go watch his film. I've seen him get double teamed and not get moved off his spot. We didn't have a guy like that last year. It was supposed to be Keyshawn Silver. It was supposed to be John Jarrett, and neither one of those guys did that. This dude against Michigan, I seen them try to double team this boy. He didn't move. I think I saw the play against Oregon. They tried to double team him. He ain't move.
And you know what's scary about that?
Go watch some of his film.
And you know what's scary about that, Leon? If you dig into his snaps, he got a hella high snap count too. Like they never took him off the field.
Exactly.
So to be able to hold your ground like that and you ain't even getting no breaks. Just imagine how he gonna ball if he get rotated, if he ain't gotta play every down. Because he was playing every day. They was like, I looked up a stat. They like he played like 80% of the defensive snap. They like he never came off the field.
So imagine how much.
Yeah. So imagine what he could do.
Imagine how much better our linebackers are going to look if they don't have to worry about 300-pounders being in their face as soon as the ball snapped, because they can't move the defensive lineman. Last year, I love Devin Thompson. He used to get pushed back a lot. I actually put in our little group that we have, Carter can attest to this. I posted a couple videos where, everybody was getting on Devin Stevenson. I posted a video. Look at this. The dude's getting pushed right in his face off of double team. He can't do nothing.
But he was playing out of position.
Who's playing out of position?
Devin Thompson. He's more of an end versus a nose.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But the problem is you can't get pushed back off the line. You got to do something. And I said it was not just Devin Stevens, it was Keyshawn Silver too, getting pushed back into the linebackers. You can't expect your linebackers to do nothing when you got three individuals in your face and one of them is your own teammate.
Well, we'll see what they do for Alabama next year because that's where he went.
Yeah, Leon, I do hear you. And my thing, I do think that Van Sumeren is going to be a good player for us. But kind of to like what Music Makes Me High is kind of alluding to is like, all right, that's one player. All right, maybe the center and the guard are taken up, but now you have, three more offensive linemen. So what I'm getting at is we need Crawford and Braylon and G-Day or whoever the other three D linemen are going to be. We need the edges to set the edge, bro. Like, we got, like, you know what? Our defense, reminds me of those old school Indianapolis Colts defense. Like we really want to pass rush. Like
Yep.
we got like Crawford and Braylon are like two Dwight Freeneys. Like they are good edge rushers when we have a lead and it's time to go get the QB. But when it comes to setting that edge, bro, like they got to bulk up and get stronger, man. So our D line, and that's why we got to really focus on development this off season with whoever the defensive staff is. Like we just have to get more physical at the end of the day.
Hey,
I don't
Cam
know.
Yeah,
Crawford.
I don't know
Cam,
if it's more physical.
hold on.
Hey, go Carter.
Cam Crawford. I just want to say this real quick. Cam Crawford, he was setting the edge in the TCU game. He played like we needed him to play all year that game. So I get what you saying, dang Trojan. Like, but it's hard when you thirsty for sacks, right? Like when you
Exactly.
thirsty for sacks
Dwight
and then they
Freeney's, I'm
run the
saying,
ball, you threw off. You already lost.
yeah,
When you already lost.
yeah,
But nah, Joe, I ain't forgetting Tabo. Tabo play right in my backyard. He right down the street. He had 170 tackles. Like Tabo a sleeper. I'm about to make a video on him because he one of the kids in our class that nobody talking about. He like Matter Reardon, a 3-star with crazy stats. Like, come on now, 174 tackles. Come on now. He
yeah.
that
But
mean
see,
he
the
got
only
them.
thing,
Go
but
ahead.
Carter, the only thing about that man is like I just hope that the defensive staff play these kids, man. Cause like I said before, and I'm gonna say it again, man. The freshmen in this class on the defensive side of the ball are super talented.
Yeah, and I think
Each one
these
of them
are
can
they
contribute.
guys. These
I
are they
think you might want
guys.
to.
So I think they're gonna play them. Go ahead.
I think you need to go and. So I keep a spreadsheet of all the players. You want to know who we listen? We got Devin Bryant, Tano Illy, AJ Tuatelli, Sean Scott, Desmond Stevens, Tamir Rice, Elijah Newby. It's a lot of linebackers, bro. You talking about playing the kids? It's some of these kids are gonna have to really play ball to beat out some of these experienced guys that are already on the team to get some time. I'm gonna tell you that right
Yeah, but
now.
see, if you don't play them kids though, it's gonna be the same thing with the Long Street situation.
yeah. They gonna lead, and then
These
some of
kids
the
want to
players
play,
you
man.
name ain't been playing.
But
A
That's
lot
check
what
of
I'm
this
them
out
saying.
though. Look,
players you name ain't been
check
playing.
this out. Check this out though. With a freshman though, all you need to give him is like 7 to 8 snaps a game, and he'll be happy as a freshman. Especially if the player in front of him is balling. See what happened with us? We had dudes sitting. They like the dude in front of me. He ain't doing nothing. So why I can't even get a snap? That was the problem. Like they see this, but if you a freshman DB and you sitting behind a Travis Hunter, you gonna understand that. But if you a freshman DB and you sitting behind somebody who getting cooked, you ain't gonna understand that. You gonna be like, if you rather keep him in and get cooked, then you feel like I'm guaranteed to get cooked. And now I feel like my coaches don't believe in me, so I'ma leave. So they gotta first install in these freshmen that we believe in you. And then they can't have a freshman sitting the bench behind somebody that's missing tackles, that's messing up. They gotta pull
Exactly.
that dude out, chew him out, so they respect that and throw the freshman in and let him get a couple snaps. I think if we did that this year, we wouldn't have seen dudes like Gus Cordova leave and Matai Tegal. Now, Husan Longstreet, I feel like it's different. The quarterbacks, they be on a different time frame. The quarterbacks, they be want to be playing by their second year.
But
What y'all
let me
think?
give you a prime example of somebody. King Miller. All during the summer, I heard about this King Miller guy, King Miller player. Never seen him, never did. I heard about him. This guy King Miller is really, really good. So when the running backs went down and King got in the game, man, he shined.
No, King was shining before they got hurt. Go back and look at those first couple games. He was getting in there too.
Yeah,
He
but see, I
played in the
but I
first.
didn't know anything about King Miller. I just heard it through the grapevine about this kid is really, really good.
But what I'm saying is he didn't just get time in the Michigan game. He was getting reps because we were blowing those first couple teams out. He was still playing ball then. I think he had like 82 yards in his second game of the season.
But if Eli
Yeah, he
Sanders
was.
didn't get hurt and the other guy didn't get hurt, you wouldn't have seen King Miller.
What
Nah,
I'm
you wouldn't
telling
have
you
seen
is
him
he was
like
already
that.
playing before they got hurt. That's what I'm saying.
But he wasn't starting. He was running
Oh
back
yeah,
number
he
4.
nobody was gonna start over Waymo. That
Yeah.
Hey,
saying he
look,
was
look,
gonna
hold
start
Leon,
on.
over
hold on,
Waymo
hold
is
on, Leon.
crazy.
Yeah,
Leon,
somebody get him.
Leon, you can't deny that this whole conversation is based off of Lincoln Riley not usually playing freshmen. And this year, if you look at the depth chart, bro, you have to play freshmen. It's no doubt about that. Next year, you have to play freshmen. It's no redshirting. We didn't bring in this superstar class to burn a bunch of red shirts, bro. Like a bunch of freshmen that, like Carter was on live the other night. He said 10 plus over under 10 plus freshmen might play. I think that's kind of low.
What are you guys talking
Nah, for
about?
real.
Thanos, hold on. Thanos was getting time as a freshman. Floyd McCart was getting time as a freshman. They were going to start Alex. They were going to start Alex.
Alex Graham.
Alex Graham as a freshman until he got hurt right before the first game of the season.
No,
So
no,
don't
no,
tell
no,
me
no. Hold on,
Lincoln
hold on,
Riley
hold on,
don't play
Leon.
freshman.
Hold
They
on,
also
Leon.
started a freshman wide receiver. So what are you
Hold on,
guys talking
Leon.
about?
Nah, Prophet was gonna start until he got hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you
And
can't
Prophet
then
leave
was
that
Alex,
one
starting.
out.
and
Yeah,
then Alex, hold on.
He was
Prophet got
next up
hurt.
though.
Prophet
yeah.
got hurt before the season started. They were going
Mm-hmm.
to start Alex Graham. Alex
True,
Graham got hurt before the season started. But
true.
okay, they were going to start two first-time freshmen at one at wide receiver to Nook Hines and Alex Graham at nickel. Okay, who and then but you're saying that they don't play freshmen. They do play freshmen if you can play.
Well,
They
Chinook
played
has an
Thanos. They
animal though.
played Floyd Bucard. They played Selly all year. So I don't want to hear about they don't play freshmen. They do.
But
Well,
Chinook
Shelly
talking
a
has
about
an
sophomore.
true
animal.
freshman, not redshirt freshman. But yeah, I hear
Shelly a sophomore.
Who's a redshirt freshman? Did I mention?
you.
Who's a
Sally,
redshirt freshman that I
Yeah,
mentioned?
Sally,
Shelly.
Sally,
Shelly.
Okay, one. Okay, one.
No,
King
But
I
Miller too.
think
Leon, what we saying is this though. This dude got 34 players that can actually probably play this year. Get them a few reps in the games so they can get comfortable with themselves. Or again, they're gonna leave. Look at your boy from Colorado, Jordan Section. That dude took all that money for 2 years and he got a transfer portal today.
Yeah,
Seaton.
You're talking apples and oranges. Seaton started as a freshman. He'd been playing.
yeah, he did.
He
He
been
did.
playing,
So
but why
you're
did he
talking
leave
apples and
Colorado?
oranges. That's not even the same comparison.
No, I think
He's
he
been
said he
starting as
went
a
to
freshman.
Colorado. I think he said he went to Colorado for the immediate playing time. He knew he was gonna play day one, and that is
I
they
think
was saying he was gonna start day one. They said it's Seaton. Yeah, he went to Colorado partly because he knew he was gonna start. So music make
mhm.
me hot. He ain't totally capping on that. Know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
Because be
go
honest
ahead.
with you, listen, I'm looking at my depth chart right now. Out of all the freshmen we're bringing in, the only one I got starting is Mark Bowman. Now, I I
Yee.
got
Whoa.
listen, I got Luke Waffle in the two deep behind Shelby. I got Talanoa Illy in the two deep at middle linebacker. I think that Devin Bryant's going to start, and I think they're going to move Desmond Stevens to the Sam if we go a three linebacker set. Um, I got Booby Feaster. I got Kane Dixon Wyatt, Kane Pepe, and Brett Kolajay all in the two deep. So we'll see what happens.
But
Somebody said they
again,
was putting
I think
Chase and
Brett
Johnson
Kolajay might
over
actually got a
Graham.
chance to start at center.
but
Yes,
again,
I
Yeah,
want to
these
ask
kids
all y'all that. Hold on, music make me high. I'm gonna come to you. You're gonna be the first one I come to.
go ahead.
Name all the freshmen you think gonna get playing time. Forget starting, just like Leon said, the 2D, the oars shit. I think we gonna see a lot of oars next year, just to
yeah,
keep everybody happy, just to keep the
yeah.
freshmen happy and the current players. So music made me high. I'm gonna come to you first. Name me the freshmen you think gonna see the field.
I definitely Mark Bowman gonna see the field. Luke Waffle gonna see the field. Booby Feaster,
Wayful. I
I
know
call
that
Waffle
dude
Wayful.
tired.
Yeah, but he gonna see the
Everybody
field
call him
most
Waffle.
definitely. Yeah, Waffle.
Right.
Uh, Dixon, of course, gonna see the field. Most of the wide receivers gonna see the field. I'm trying to think. God, the secondary guy. Is it Hill?
Yep. The DB, the nickel.
Yeah, the freshman Hill. Well, I think Private Brown gonna start at nickel probably, but the freshman Hill definitely gonna see some playing time, and probably one of the offensive linemen probably gonna see a lot of playing time, and the defensive line too. So they should get a lot of play. Like I said, they should get a lot of freshmen on the field this year. If they
Dang
don't, that's a
Trojan.
Lincoln Riley problem.
Dang Trojan. What freshman you guys see in the field? I'm talking about burning a red shirt type see in the field.
Right. So right now I got Feaster.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Caden Dixon Wyatt, along with I know he's not a freshman, but along with Zacharias Williams, are going to be fighting for that for that Z receiver. So Feaster and Dixon Wyatt. Then I got, of course, Mark Bowman. Then I have Kine Pepe competing for a spot. I have Cola J fighting for a spot, and I got Vlad fighting for a spot. So that's the offense right there. Then on defense, of course, we got Wayful. Of course, we got Winfield. Um, man, bro, I think Ely. I think if we could put 10 more pounds on him in the offseason, I think he's so dynamic. He's gonna force himself on the field. And then we have Elbert Hill.
You got some background feed. What's up, Leon? Who you got? Did you already say the freshman you think, Blood?
I'll say it again just for anybody who didn't hear me. So on offense, I got Mark Bowman starting, Booby Feaster, Caden Dixon Wyatt, Kene Pepe, and Brett Cola J all in the 2 deep. On defense, I got Luke Waffle in the 2 deep, and I got Tano Illy on the 2 deep. The only reason why I don't have Elbert Hill in the 2 deep on defensive back because we got Prophet and D Riddick as nickels, Chasen and RJ Sermons as the back 2 corners, Alex Graham, Kenny Urlacher at the safety, Christian Pierce at the other starting safety, backed up by Marcus Gallegos, and then you got Williams and Jontez Williams. Yeah, Marcellus and Jontez fighting for the 1 and 2. So it's going to be hard for Elbert Hill to get into that 2 deep. But if there's a defensive back that's going to get in that 2 deep, it's going to be him.
So y'all want to move? I mean, so you want to move Alex Graham back to safety? I think he found his home at nickel the way he was balling at nickel.
Here's the reason. Here's the thing, Carter. With Prophet Brown coming back, I think they're going to like his experience, and when he's played, he's been balling. I think Alex Graham gives you more. He can cover the field a lot better than Kenny Urlacher. I think he's a faster player, and he's also very physical. He don't miss tackles. So I think those him and Kenny Urlacher fighting for that safety spot, starting next to Christian Pierce. I think that's a good look. I think I'd go with Alex Graham. He just covers more field.
I don't know because I'm a SC fan. I know we all SC fans, but I remember games where they'll pick on Prophet Brown, like they'll go directly at him as soon as he comes in the
Yeah,
game.
right.
So I'm not sold on Prophet unless he done made improvements in practice that I ain't seen. Unless the off season that this came, unless he just made a complete jump in this game, I'm not sold on that. From what I seen, Alex Graham looked better than Prophet.
They
From what
said
I
he
Well,
did
seen.
before he got hurt.
and that's the most important reason why they wanted to re-sign Alex Graham because they know he has a future at the nickel position.
Yeah, I'm keeping him at nickel. If you started at that position as a true freshman, I ain't gonna tinker with it. Like I don't like what they did with Kamari. I know it's pros and cons to it, and I know Leon, you gonna say we needed that, and you ain't wrong. But I would have kept him at safety. I'm not changing the player position if he balling at that position. College is too short. I don't like what they did with Newbie. I felt like they stunted Newbie growth when they had him at linebacker, then tried him out at DN for a whole summer,
Yeah,
for a whole
yeah.
spring and summer. Then fall comes, it's like, okay, nah, you back at linebacker. Well, you just stunted his development, right? So I don't want to move Alex Graham to safety, right? And then Prophet getting torched, and we like, Alex, you got to go back. Like,
Yeah, go back, go back. Yeah.
yeah, now you got to go back. You messing with players' development.
But
So
here's the
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
thing,
keep
Carter.
him at nickel.
But
And
Carter,
I
Hey,
here's the
remember
listen,
thing.
Dion recruited him as a corner though. I remember,
Carter, but here's the thing. I think what we've seen from D Riddick, if we do have a drop off at nickel with Prophet, you can move D Riddick right in there to that nickel position because he played pretty good in that Notre Dame game.
but I want to ask you this: why Max what is fixed? Alex Graham fixed the nickel for us when he was out there. I wasn't worried about the nickel; he had that on lock. So why play with it? I'm gonna
Because
give
you want
somebody else a shot at safety. I'm a
because if we go
count on
5
my
defensive
development.
backs,
I'm gonna count on my development. We got other safeties in the wing, like Reddick, Gallegos, Ruben, Erlacher. Like we got safeties. So
no
why I would
no
give them a
disrespect to
chance.
those guys, no disrespect to those guys. But if you want your 5 best players on the field, if they put D Riddick and them guys in there were they wanted their five best players on the field. So those guys you mentioned, whether it's Isaiah Rubin, who I really, really love coming out of high school, Castro, Gallegos, who I really, really love coming out of high school, they thought the other guys were better. So that's why they were on the field. And I think if Profit can't hold his ground in nickel, you move D Riddick in there and you have Alex Graham at safety. You have your next five best players on the field.
Now
Hey,
I
Christian
know
Pierce brother
we all been
plays
kind of ganging up on Leon, but I will agree with Leon on this one that if I'm to have a liability at nickel or at safety, I'll prefer the liability at nickel. If
Y'all
that makes
crazy.
sense.
In my opinion, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's harder
They,
to look. I can hide a safety. It's harder to pick on a safety. A nickel, he on an island basically. You covering a slot. You can't hide the nickel. I can hide my safety. You play. You play the third quarter of the field. You just play center field. Don't keep everything in front of you. That's all you do. At nickel, you can't do that. I can hide a safety all day, especially if
yeah, and
my
then
other
also
safety is good and my
yeah, and
DBs
also,
is good. I can hide the safety.
yeah, 'cause you can put your best wide receiver at the slot, so you got to have somebody that can at
Exactly.
least kind of sort of
Yeah.
keep him contained and stuff like that.
All right, yeah,
But Christian Pierce brother
that's true.
plays cornerback or safety.
He
Corner.
plays safety. We forgetting him, huh?
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think he plays safety too.
Yeah,
No,
Christian Pierce
It's
he's
plays
a
like,
safety.
cornerback. He's a
Yeah, yeah,
corner.
corner. Yeah, no, it's corner.
He's a
Who
corner.
a corner?
The
but listen,
He played
Carrington
corner at Oklahoma
Pierce
State.
is a corner.
Wait, hold up. No, I'm talking about he talking about Christian. Am I
No, he's
right?
talking about Carrington.
No, no, he's
Because
talking
when
about the
we was naming
brother.
them,
y'all talking
He's
about the
talking about
Carrington is
brother.
Carrington.
another. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but Carrington is a package deal type dude. Your brother on the team, we gonna bring you.
I get you. Yeah, no, I get you. But I want to ask
But
y'all a question about the
go
defense
ahead.
real quick. So based on our personnel, and I know that this is a question that Lincoln Riley has. What scheme, if you guys were Lincoln Riley, would y'all pick for because I know a good defense coordinator is gonna switch between schemes, but you think we should run a 4-3, 4-2, 4-2-5, or a 3-4?
4-3.
Okay, you think we got the linebackers for that?
I think we do if they put him in the right position. Yeah,
Okay. What about you, Carter?
I would go with a 4-2, 4-2-5.
Okay, and then have the nickel be
4-2-5.
Alex.
Because I feel like I don't feel like we got the. I mean, we got three linebackers that I feel like could, like you know what I'm saying, Stevens,
Meyer, you in bed?
Walker, and Newby. But behind, I don't know if we went in a 4-3, we would be too deep. We need six linebackers. I don't think we got six linebackers ready. Do y'all do? Maybe so though. Them three, AJ Tuatelli, he looked good, so that's four. Then you got
Yeah,
Devin Bryan, that's five.
and then we got
So hey, that's
Robinson, newbie.
Carter
Carter
just
just
dropped.
Carter dropped out.
I'll
Yeah,
be right back. But the answer to the question is I think we could run a 4-3. We do have the linebackers for that. I think we have a two deep. Devin Bryan at the middle, Jaden Walker at the wheel, and then move Desmond Stevens to the Sam. Then he got Tano Illy, AJ Tuatelli, and Tamere Robinson backing them up. So we could run the 4-3. I don't know if we have the outside linebacker depth to run a 3-4. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
said before, man. With the Big Ten, it's ground and pound. So you want to
It
have
is.
those two defensive tackles in that middle with them ends, and then let the linebackers go to work.
And the reason why I asked the question because I think it's tricky because I think like for instance if we run the 4-2, I think we kind of lack the nickel depth, and then and then if we run the 4-3, I think we kind of lack the outside linebacker depth. So like it is like a kind of pick your poison type of deal for Riley and the defense, and it just kind of speaks to why we're talking about the defensive line. Like the defensive line has to step up. We need Crawford and Shelby to have at least 7-8 sacks. Like it's that's the only way we're gonna make the playoffs. We need G Day to have that double digit tackle for loss season. We need Van Summering to hold his own in the middle. Like a lot has to come together. But in my opinion, I would agree with Carter. I would go with the 4-2 just because, West Coast Cali ball, we have a lot of DBs. And I hear what you're saying, music, that we do have a lot of ground and pound teams in the Big Ten, but we gotta develop that line and make sure that they're not getting pushed back, so our nickel and our linebackers can fly up and make those tackles.
Now you got to remember on this year's schedule though, you got Ohio State, you got
Facts.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Who else?
Oregon, Washington.
Well, they played Oregon last year. They didn't play Washington last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a grind and pound schedule for USC. So that's why I said the 4-3 would probably be the best thing. But from what I hear from everybody, man, from what I hear from all these podcasters, all these people doing these pages and stuff like that, there's no excuse for Lincoln Riley this year. Zero. I don't want nobody taking up for him talking about, oh, they were freshmen. I don't want to hear that. He has no excuses this year. He has the talent. He got his quarterback back this year. Most of his offensive line is back because old boy signed today, which was a good signing. Uh, Noah, is it Lonnie Noah? Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Noah. Yeah.
resigned today, so it's no excuses, man.
All right, so hey, so music. I just got to start off by saying that we on the same page. I'm not a big Lincoln Riley fan either, but I do like to play devil's advocate. So here we go. If we go 9-3, and one of them losses is like a bad ref, home cooking, fuck bad call. Everybody knows it. So like one of our losses is like that. Like it's 9-3, but one of the losses was on some home cooking. Big Ten refs suck. Would you still be Fire Riley if we go 9-3 with a loss that we kind of should have won?
I gotta look at the schedule again, but like I said, the
Right.
only games that kind of worry me is Ohio State game. That worried the hell out of me.
That's at home. Yep.
Yeah, the Oregon game kind of worries me a little bit, but I
That's at
don't know though
home.
because I don't know if Dante Moore is coming back.
I would have to assume with the Raiola move that he's leaving. I get what they're trying to push out, but to me, like I think more is gone. Like to me, second pick in the draft is hard to pass up. Just ask Matt Leinart. You know what I mean? It's hard to pass up second pick in the draft. And I know
Yep.
he's not really developed as he could be, but again, bro, like that money, that position in the draft, bro, you have to go, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Yeah.
but see the thing is though about that money though, he can make that money back at Oregon.
Nah, not second pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Nah.
Not second
Yeah,
pick.
not second pick in the draft. Nah.
And his
I
stock,
think
you
I
risking
think
your
if he had
stock
a good
all.
game against Indiana, I think he would have probably just said I'm gone. But since he had such a poor performance against Indiana, he may come back. And like I said, Dylan Raiola probably understood that. That's why he went to Oregon because he been hurt, so he can heal up for a whole year. You know what I mean?
And to
And be
your
ready to go
question
next
though,
year.
and to your question, it depends how them losses look. It depends how we look, dang Trojan. Like if we
Yeah.
still having the same ills, then he gonna be on the hot seat. But we can't have the same issues every year. We can't have the same problems. So if we go 9-3, but we didn't get pushed around, we was disciplined. You know what I'm saying? You know the stuff we complain
Yeah.
about. If
Right.
that's not there and we just lost this fair and square, you know what I'm saying? They was the better team and whatnot, and we gave a great shot and went back and forth, then it's different. You know what I'm saying? But we can't have no Maryland's, we can't have no Illinois. We can't lose the same way. We better off losing because our offense didn't score enough points at this point. You know what I'm saying? We bet not have no
Yeah.
games where we getting up 40 points to a team we shouldn't, or 30 points like we played a team like Illinois and couldn't get off the field on third down. Now we bet not see that no more.
Now, also too,
So
Carter, a few minutes ago, y'all talking about who else should get some burn this year. I think if Jonas Williams comes in there, learns the playbook, he ought to get a few reps in the game.
yeah, I never even got on who I think gonna get some rep. Um On the offensive side of the ball, I think y'all sleeping on Trent Mosley. I think he might see the field before Caden Dixon. Like
See,
Trent Mosley went crazy this year, especially in the playoffs. He won the championship. He was scoring like 3 or 4 touchdowns every game.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He
yeah.
catching the ball on screens and taking it 70. So I think Trent Mosley and Booby Feaster gonna get in there. Um, on the defensive side, I think Wafe taking somebody's spot. If Shelby and Crawford don't
Hold,
take it to the next level, he got one of them positions
oh,
for sure.
like
For
hold on,
sure.
as a starter over Shelby or Crawford.
It ain't gonna be said as a starter, it gonna be an or. I know how they gonna do it. But I'm saying he gonna get I feel like he gonna get it just as many reps unless Shelby and Crawford take that leap. If Shelby and Crawford is the same player, yes, Luke Wayful is going to be taking some snaps at the very minimum. He getting 25, 30 snaps a game. He gonna be he gonna be the same Thanos to me. Luke Wayful is just another Thanos. We got back-to-back Thanoses. Both of them dudes is like you
That
can't
dude, Doctor
explain them.
Doom. He ain't Thanos. He Doctor Doom.
What'd you say?
I say he Doctor Doom. He ain't Thanos. He Doctor Doom.
Yeah, he's some type of superhero type player. Like, so just how Jakeem forced his way on the field, Wayful is gonna do that for sure. And like I said, and the same thing with the interior. If them guys don't take the next step, Winfield is gonna get some snaps. He just is. He was embarrassing people out there in the All American game, especially in the practice. Nobody could block him 1-on-1. The only dude that could block him was our dude, Vlad D. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah, they were
so
yeah, they were talking about him during like all the reps and stuff like during the practice stuff like that. They're like USC got some talent, a lot of it.
yeah, so I them two gonna see the field for sure, for sure. I don't know about any of our linebackers, but I feel like Albert Hill, he gonna see the field like he too fast. Like his speed, he too fast to keep him off the field. He a 4-2 type dude.
Yeah,
You feel me? And then nobody got no really DB position like on lock like that. Especially if we finna move Graham back to safety. If we move Graham back to safety, then our cover corners, whether that's a nickel or a corner, ain't nobody a superstar. Ain't nobody got that on lock. Marcellus ain't got that on lock. Chasen coming off injury, he ain't got that on lock. The Iowa State dude is the only one, but he coming off injury too.
yeah. Oh, I
So I
forgot
see,
about
I
him.
see, yeah. So I see Elbert Hill, Wayful, Jamion Winfield, Mark Bowman, and Feaster and Mosley definitely gonna see the field. And then it's gonna be a surprise too.
Like I said, man, this my thing is if Lincoln Riley can keep this class together and keep these players together, USC's future is gonna be really, really bright. Because like I said before, man, I've been saying this for years. Kids want to go to a winning program. They want to compete for national championships. They want to compete in the playoffs.
Right.
And that's been the problem with USC, man. If USC had been winning 10, 11 games a season, we wouldn't have a talent problem.
What's up,
You know,
Carter and Bo? How you feeling?
Hey,
First, how
hey,
you
what's
feeling
going
about the
on?
re-signing?
Man, of course, like everyone, I was looking out for Alex Graham, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with Noah, and I'm cool with the linebacker. I mean, everyone, if everyone returning, I like that as a good sign for a good cohesive team. So I'm with that. I had a question for you guys.
What's up?
So in 2000, I think it was 2004 season when we had Deuce Robinson, Mackay, Lacey, and Zachariah Branch. Did you guys think Riley? We'll put the responsibility on Riley. Riley, did you think he did a great job of distributing the ball to all those talented wide receivers?
nope.
Leon, what you think?
I think we had to step out for a minute.
Oh, okay. I think he tried to spread it around too much to where nobody got enough looks. Like when you trying to spread the ball around the 4 wide receivers, it's hard to kind of build chemistry with one of them, right? So I think trying to split up give equal snaps to 4 wide receivers, I think that's a little bit of problem. I think you got to pick your top 3. So I feel like he tried to spread it around too much 4 wide receiver sets, too many bubble screens to Zach. Like I feel like that was too much of the focus of the offense. So
Well, I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna push back on you on that one, Carter, because I think you try to get Zachariah Branch the ball
mm,
too much.
yeah, he didn't. Yeah, too many. That's why I said too many bubble screens.
Yeah,
Right, a lot of them bubble screens should have been regular pass plays, and then you got to try to develop Zach. Like you want to develop his route tree while you got him running bubble screens all the time. So I think, yeah, I'm with Music Made Me. I think he really just fumbled with Zach, not using him right and being too predictable when he used him. I think that was the problem.
yeah, because the wide receiver that transferred to Penn State, Kyron
Uh,
Hudson,
yeah, Kyra Hudson.
you know,
Oh
he
yeah,
had he
we
had
were trying to play
hands.
him too. We was playing him too. So that's really 5 receivers that I feel like that's too much, especially when none of them is established yet. At that point, we didn't know who our one was. You feel me? I think we came into the season probably thinking Zachariah was the best. Then it was like, okay, maybe it's Jacoby. Then by the end of the season, it's like, no, oh, it's Makai. You feel me? So I think spreading it around too much, preventing us from identifying that number one dude in the clear pecking order. Like it's like we looking at all 4 ones. Or we really was looking at Deuce and Zachariah. Deuce because he's 6'5", blazing speed, like looking at him like he could be the next Calvin Johnson. And then we looking at Zachariah, he was like, oh, that's like Reggie Bush at wide receiver, right? But they wasn't. But the top 2 best was really Jacoby and Makai. But we didn't find that out till it was too late. Zach was already checked out. You feel me? Deuce wanted more targets, so it's like it's hard to have 4 wide receivers, especially when they all in the same class and you don't know which one is that guy yet. I think that hurt us when it comes to losing Zachariah and Deuce for sure, for sure.
Yeah, see, in my opinion too, though, you know, with Lincoln Riley being the offensive coordinator or offensive guru, like people say, I don't think he should ever lose a wide receiver, quarterback, or a running back to a
I mean,
transfer
if
portal.
if you stacked at that position, but just think about it. Look, if we didn't have Makai and Jacoby, Deuce and Zach would have stayed. You feel me? So sometimes you so great at being an offensive group where you gonna get all the running backs and quarterbacks you want, and it might be too many. Like I said, it's hard to have 4 number 1s. And when they was on our team, they all felt like they should be that guy, and they had reason to feel like that because what they did in high school and what they was doing like they freshman year. So it's like you gonna lose some, like especially if you overstack the talent at a position room. We was overstacked. Like I said, we had that for and Kyron Hudson and Cal Ford. You feel me? Like we was loaded. When we think about it, we was loaded at receiver. So it's gonna happen like that because it's not enough balls for everybody. And then you got the tight ends too. So it's like, man, if you wanted more targets, was Deuce and Zach wanted, they had to go somewhere else where they gonna be the number 1 or number 2 for sure. You feel what I'm saying? So I can't really necessarily. Only thing I blame on Riley is trying to play all of them. I ought to pick the top 3. You feel me? But it is what it is. I mean, it's a good problem to have because think about it. Even after they left, we still had a great wide receiver room with Makai, Tanuk, and Jacoby. We still was decent. So I'll deal with that problem every year. Think about this receiver class. Like somebody's gonna probably transfer out or this receiver class too. Because look, you got Tron Baker, you got Trent Mosley, you
Wyatt.
got Caden Dixon, you got Booby Feaster, and you got Luke Weaver.
Did you mention Wyatt from Modern Day?
Yeah, Caden Dixon. I call him
Oh, okay,
Caden
got you,
Dixon.
got
Okay,
you,
Dixon.
got you.
Yeah, and then look, we still got some young receivers in the wings that was freshman last year, like Romero Ison. He a burner. He one of them 4-2-3 dudes. So we got like 6 receivers. Then with Tanuk, we got like 7 receivers for the next 2-3 years. One of them is gonna transfer out whoever they're at the top three. Like so, say if the top three is Booby, Caden, and Trent. Well, eventually Luke Weaver, Tron Baker, Romero Ison, they gonna hit the portal because they gonna want more targets. So this is gonna be this is always gonna be a issue, but it's a good problem. But we always gonna have wide receivers transferring out because Lincoln Riley recruits so many. Like we got 5 in one class. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody gonna transfer out unless they willing to wait. Unless somebody gonna be willing to wait to their 3rd or 4th year to get that starting lineup.
Well, I just hope that Lincoln Riley, if he's still there, knows how to just work these wide receivers into the system. That's what I hope.
But it's
That's a
like,
lot of weapons.
but look, if you got 6 or 7 weapons, you can't work all of them, man. Somebody gotta wait. And with the NIL and how the transfer portal, you ain't got to sit. It's guaranteed that somebody ain't gonna wait. Like DJ Jordan, he left. He didn't want to wait. He waited 2 years. He like these players, if they ain't starting by their 2nd year or getting major playing time, they probably gonna bounce unless you willing to pay them a pretty penny to sit the bench. Like look like LSU finna do for Longstreet. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
like,
but see this thing about Longstreet though. See, this is the thing though, and I said this yesterday when they got Sam Levitt, which I understand, but I don't understand it because he could have did the same thing. He could have did the same thing at USC. He could have just sat the bench next year and been straight. But I think Longstreet came in with the idea with LSU that he was going to start. Lane Kiffin didn't tell him he was going to get Sam Levitt, even though he was, targeted to go to LSU. I think Longstreet looking for a starting position.
I think LSU also got a second quarterback. They got I think they got another guy out of the Division 3 or something. I think they got 2 quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, Division 3 gonna be holding the clipboard.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I hear you on that, but here's the problem: that guy has tape. Longstreet doesn't.
Right.
Longstreet got what 7 plays for USC, so he's going off of only potential. So so in theory he has to compete with 2 guys.
Well, if Lane Kiffin wants you, it's for a reason. Like Lane Kiffin don't make mistakes on quarterbacks.
True.
One thing about Lane, he ain't gonna make no mistakes. So if he wants you, it's for a reason.
But
Jackson
how
Dart
bad
is
do he want Longstreet? Because I did see that they was looking at another quarterback. I don't know if it was the Division 2 dude, but I was on Twitter and they was like some other quarterback is visiting. I'm finna go search and see like, but it looked like LSU want Longstreet, but it don't seem like they feel like he the answer to all their problems. Like, oh, this our guy. We finna build around him. It seemed like they just want to fill the quarterback room up with potential talent and let them battle it out. But either way it goes,
they gonna give Lane Kiffin a grace period of maybe 1 year or 2 years, maybe, to get what he want. Then when he get what he want, then it's gonna be, all systems go. So I'm just shocked that Longstreet would actually go to LSU versus just staying at USC.
exactly.
So I hear what you're saying, and I just want to say that if Lane Kiffin's on a 2-year plan, the first year is Sam Levitt, second year is Longstreet. That's a lot of pressure on Longstreet. You got a ball because Kiffin's there to win.
It's not really pressure on him because he sat out 1 year at USC, so he's gonna still be a redshirt freshman if he comes in this year, if I'm not mistaken. If he goes to LSU. So he'll be maybe start his sophomore season, sophomore redshirt season.
Be a important year for Lane Kiffin though.
That's gonna be second year.
Yeah, so if Longstreet don't start this year,
Sam Levitt is a senior.
I know. So, Longstreet might start Kiffin's second year at LSU.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, so I think he's saying that it's gonna be a little pressure on Lane Kiffin in year 2.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving them 2 years to really turn that around, you just left Ole Miss. Ole Miss was in the playoffs. I'm not saying it can't be done. All I'm saying is, wherever Longstreet goes, he can't escape expectation and he can't escape competition.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But let's
Well,
be
unless you
fair.
go. Well, unless you go to
Let's be
Miami,
fair.
but I think.
Let's be fair though. I heard that it's his parents. Chris, you should have been sub. Where you been? You should have been sub, buddy. Nah,
Hey,
but
music. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Carter. Go.
nah, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Okay, so let's take your theory on Miami. Let's just say Miami miraculously wins the championship. Beck has an amazing game. You know how much pressure Longstreet going to have being the quarterback of Miami?
Yeah, but it's not gonna be pressure because for the simple fact they understand Longstreet is a redshirt freshman.
That's tough, man. They can always bring in a transfer with experience.
They could.
See, this
Either
the
way it
thing
goes,
though.
Longstreet got to sit down and learn something. That's the thing.
See,
So
look,
it
look,
would have
look,
been.
look. This the thing though. Whoever get Longstreet gonna have to really develop him and have him ready whenever they play him. Because all they gonna look at is they gonna be like Lane Kiffin. This was a 5-star quarterback coming out. That's all that they gonna be like. Longstreet was a 5-star. So Lane Kiffin is gonna be expected whenever Longstreet start. They gonna expect him to ball, and the coaches ain't gonna be able to have an excuse like, "Oh, he's young." They gonna be like, "Well, he's a 5. He was a 5-star, and this is 3rd year in college. Like, you should be able to get that done." So
Well,
I
you
get.
know, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Carter. Now I'm finna say,
No,
Lane Kiffin goes to a specific quarterback, a dual threat quarterback. Jackson Dart was dual threat. Trinidad Chambers was dual threat, and Longstreet was dual threat.
mm-hmm.
Hey, the
What y'all
chat
think about
room.
the? They want to talk about the DC search. What y'all think about the DC situation? Who y'all want? Who y'all hearing? Like, would y'all go in house? Would y'all go out house? I'm gonna say this before I let y'all go. Um, I hear it's taking so long because we refuse to give up our assistants. And these DCs, they got to think about that. Do they want to take a job and they can't hire their own guys? But what y'all think about the DC situation?
I think
Go
I
ahead.
think I think I still have to do more research on Patterson. I'm intrigued by him. But he hasn't been coaching recently as a DC. I think that's kind of a no-brainer. But to answer your question, Carter, me personally, I'm only speaking for me. I would go in house. I would
You'll
roll
go.
the dice. I'm going in house. I don't want to break up the coaching staff, and I'm not saying that out of fear. I'm saying that out of I'm saying that that's an asset. To keep that staff together is an asset.
Listen,
Yep,
I'm
I
gonna
feel.
tell you who I want, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I think if we get this person, we can keep the staff. He understands the culture, and you got to bring his +1. Let Pete Carroll run that defense, and bring in Eddie O. Let Ed do what he want to do, but bring in Pete Carroll to run that defense.
Pete Carroll gonna
Because
want his
anybody else
guys though.
huh?
Pete Carroll gonna want his guys.
Carter,
Somebody
I don't
said,
think so because
you
I
don't
don't
think
think so
so?
because Pete Carroll's on his last leg. Therefore, so I think if you get like 1 or 2 years out of Pete, I think we'll be fine. Because also too, Pete can coach up those other position coaches to become defensive head coaches. See what I'm saying?
Here's
But
my main
it's not
He
gonna happen
said
though.
USC hired Gary Patterson. He was at USC.
eh, here's
They
my
Throwing
hired
only
a
Gary
4.2
Patterson.
for high.
here's my only pushback. Music. So you don't like Lincoln Riley, right? You're a Lincoln Riley hater. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let me jump on your side. Do you think Lincoln Riley would like to have the shadow of Pete Carroll around him at all times? I
Listen,
don't think I don't think he
Not at
wants
all.
him to even be connected. I mean, he's bigger than he'd be bigger than Lincoln Riley if he was there.
okay, listen. Let me just
He
explain to
would.
you. My favorite movie in the world is Remember the Titans. Okay, Coach
Good
Boone
movie.
and Coach Yost.
Yes.
Coach Boone told Coach Yost, "You coach your defense, I coach my offense."
Oh
That is what
Gary
man.
Lincoln
Patterson
Riley
is no
needs.
longer an option, Chris. Chris said Gary Patterson is no longer an option. But they said that about PK, but then PK turned down the Stanford job and they like it's back in play. Like, to be
Oh,
honest with
he
y'all,
turned down the Stanford job.
look, let me tell y'all this. This is my opinion. If USC was willing to get rid of their assistant defensive coaches, we would have got any DC we wanted. The only holdup is trying to convince these DCs to keep our guys. So
Because
at
Carter, they
first,
they good at what they do.
they great at recruiting. I still ain't sold on they're great coaches when the game is cracking. Right? For one, the players never come out motivated. They always better in the second half. For two, I don't feel like they hold accountability strong enough. You can miss a tackle on USC and stay in the game. You can make a mistake and stay in the game. Right? I seen a lot of predictability in our defense. Now that goes to Lynn. That goes to Lynn. But as far as the position coaches, like we was worried about our units. We like, why our defensive line getting watched pushed down the field? Right? Why we ain't getting no pressures? Why our linebackers ain't triggering fast enough? To me, what's tricky about that could be players and coaches. Like, you could be telling the player the right thing, but he not processing it. But I think that is coaching. I seen little coaching errors. So I'm not sold on our assistants as far as in the game. I do feel like they can develop players. Like, I feel like they can develop you in practice, right? And they can recruit. But I still ain't sold on their in-game coaching. See, it's different in practice than in the game. Like, practice coaching, that's a different skill set. You know what I'm saying? Than coaching in the game. I don't know if we ready. Like, I seen our DBs get better. I seen the coaching in the DBs and the improvement in the things they do. But I didn't really see that with the linebackers and the defensive line.
Now I'm gonna tell you somebody else would be good too. Actually, it's two coaches actually. Charlie Strong just got fired from Tampa Bay. He just got fired. And then, like I said before, Raheem Morris, man. I think Raheem Morris worked with the defensive line coach before at in LA.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared of an NFL coach because they don't have to teach fundamentals at that level. They ain't got to teach technique. Um, somebody had told me that Henny was going to Trinity League High. He was going to high school coaches, asking them how to teach certain technique because he didn't have to teach that technique in the NFL. So I'd be skeptical of NFL coaches because I don't know if they got the tool set to develop a freshman to teach somebody from the ground up. They so used to just having to teach their system. But in college, you got to teach fundamentals, technique, and the system.
But
And
see,
I
this the
think
thing
that
though,
that's what
Carter.
Lynn failed at. I think he's
But
an
see, this the
NFL
thing though,
style
Carter.
coach. What's up?
But this the thing though. You got position coaches that teach technique. Your defensive coach is there to put the defense in place.
That's true. That's true. So you like get Raheem Morris and then keep our position coaches.
Right.
I
Because
mean,
at
I
the end
wouldn't
of the
be
day,
mad at that.
whatever defense coordinator gets the job, they got to keep the position coaches. And that might be what the problem is.
No, that is the problem. That is the problem. Because think about it. They're not a better DC vacancy in college football now than that USC. You might maybe say Oregon or something, but besides that, it's like if you're a DC, what better school to go to that got an
Yeah,
opening
you're
right
right
now?
right now. Yeah, you're right now. And see,
And
this is
it's
the only thing too.
USC. if you moving your family to LA, come on, man. Like, if we was willing to get the keys to all these DCs, they would have been signed. They would sign me up quick, especially with this recruiting class too. They'd be like, hell yeah. But the only
But
thing
I
is,
think
go ahead.
I'm finna say, but I think they already got defensive coordinator in place. They just ain't told nobody.
And if that's true, that make me feel like it ain't an in-house hire. Because we know if we hire in-house, we ain't got to worry about no defections. Nobody hopping in the portal, right? But if we hire not in the house, then we got to worry about players leaving. You know what I'm saying? It's certain players that love, like the Alex Graham situation. I heard the first hold up while he hadn't re-signed yet, even though it still ain't official yet. He want to know if Belk and them coming back before he re-signed. So I'm pretty sure it's another player or two that feel the same way about Reed and feel the same way about Henny. Like USC, we don't want to lose no players. We don't want to lose none of the talent players that we got that love our position coaches. And then these same dudes recruited monster classes. Like, look at what Henny recruited in the trenches. He got Samote. He got Tom Tom. He got Braden Jones. He got a sleeper like Andrew Williams. Then we get to the Winfields and Wayful. Super. You don't want to mess that up. You know what I'm saying?
I
And then
agree
you got
with
the
that.
DBs. Then you got the DB class sick. Madden Reardon, Peyton Dwyer, Joshua Holland, Albert Hill, Brandon Lockhart. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to lose none of them either. So it's
Yeah.
like the ideal situation for USC, and they trying to force it. It may come back to bite us, but the ideal situation is great DC and keep our assistants.
I agree with that because ultimately, if there's any drop off or we don't play to our standard or we don't have a good record, the first thing people are going to start yelling is we don't have the talent.
So they ain't gonna say
You
that this year.
I don't,
you need the
yeah, I
talent.
don't
You
think.
need
I,
talent. Period. I don't think a good DC out there right now can work with no talent.
see, this is a tricky thing about us though. We
Personetti.
have the talent. Look, we have the talent, but it's unproven, right? So a lot of guys, if you look at player ceilings, like if you look at player ceilings, we got some NFL dudes. So Braylon Shelby, if he reaches full potential, his ceiling is NFL. Cam Crawford as well. His ceiling is NFL. Um, Jakeem Stewart, Bicard, they ceiling is NFL. Alex Graham, his ceiling, NFL, right? Jaden Walker, his ceiling, NFL. But they all question marks and we all got to see it. But so we got the talent, but it's like we don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a coach could be like, well, we ain't got the talent, and he could point to the stat sheet like, look, we ain't got no DN with double digit sacks. Like last year or this season, the leading sack leader was 4.5. So that's the same thing this year. DC could like, oh, I ain't got talent at the edge, right?
That,
Uh, the defensive tackle. If the defensive tackle ain't got 50 plus tackles, he could be like, well, we ain't got the talent, but the talent really there. But you could say it ain't there. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's real tricky with us. Like that's what I'm saying. That's why I want the great coaching. I
That
want to keep
that's
the assistants, but it's like, dang, I want the great coaching because I feel like the great coaching is gonna get the most out of all these players.
that
So it's
that's
really on
why
the coaches. Go ahead.
that's why I think the best acquisition we made was that D tackle from Michigan State because he can make any scheme look good. If he can, so you guys remember when we had Gavin Myers, that was his name from Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He was a bit undersized, but he played hard, right? He gave us everything he got. If this
Mm-hmm.
guy from Michigan State could just stay at the same bar or even play a little bit better than that, that should open it up for everybody to eat.
Hey, look,
Because
I ain't gonna lie. Look, oh no, go ahead. I'm my bad to cut you off. Go
oh
ahead.
yeah, no, oh just real quick, if you haven't seen his highlights against us, he was beasting against us.
Yeah, he had 6 tackles. I think
And he
he
was
had six
moving people out
tackles
the
against
way. I
us.
mean, he was playing physical.
Look, he had 6 tackles against us, and most importantly, he had 6 tackles against Indiana too. He was whooping their ass too.
Yeah.
So look, you disrespected him comparing him to Gavin Meyer. he like Gavin Myers souped up.
I wasn't comparing. I was just saying.
No, I get what you're saying though.
Yeah,
Like
you know what I mean.
his
The transfer
prototype.
impact he could have.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
yes,
what he said. He's a tough inside interior dude with experience.
yes.
Most definitely, I agree. But yeah, he a step up above Gavin Myers. What's up,
Yeah,
Chris?
but like I
Finally,
said,
you hopped in here, bro. Like, what's happening?
Man, what's going on? I just came in on the tag end of it. Um, but it's like you said, Carter. You could it's potential, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
unproven, right? And so until it's
You going out?
oh my bad, it's tough until it's potential that's unproven, and until it become proven, it's tough to call it talent, right? I mean, if you look at the numbers, I think in the Big Ten we're ranked either five or lower in composite talent score, right? So that's not great. But the issue that come down with me about the coaching is, you remember we had Dante, right? Great
Mm-hmm.
recruiter. T. Martin, great recruiter. But
Mm-hmm.
as coordinators, as position coaches, it never manifested. So it
Mm-hmm.
seems like we're in this same dilemma to where great recruiters can get the players in, but if you can't do nothing with the players, then what good does it do?
Yeah, it'd be wasted talent.
You see what I'm saying? Or, or, you know, that, and again, that goes to your coaching ability, your ability, and your talent evaluation,
Yeah.
right? Are we taking people because they 5 stars, or are we actually looking at the film and saying these guys fit our system, they fit our culture, they can do this good, they can do that, right? Just because we all know you can buy star rankings and all that,
Mm-hmm.
so you're 4 star, 5 star, depending on what school you at, where you camps and things like that you're going to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I truly believe that, like, we're in a day and age where coaches are not going to schools as much as they used to. You know, you got huddle, right? You got the 707 camps. Most people are lazy. They go do their recruiting at these camps, right? Where they can see everybody there and do one stop shop. Like, yeah, they still hit the road, but it's not like it used to be back in our day, Carl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where 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 them coaches have to really get out there and go to the games on Friday night and things like that. A lot of times people are getting these star rankings. They getting them at these camps. People are saying, okay, this camp, this day, we're gonna go to this camp and we're gonna evaluate that way. Of course, players look different in camp. There's no pads, right?
Exactly.
And so, but it comes down to, what good does it do if you can have the number one class, but you can't do anything with them, right? That's like I tell people at church. What good does it do to know the Bible and you can't apply it to your everyday life? And you can't
Mm.
use it when you get in certain situations. You don't know what scripture to pull out when you're under attack. You can know the Bible word for word from Genesis to Revelation, but if you can't apply it to your life, what good does it do? It's the same
I
thing
feel
with
You talking about competition.
it's the same thing
You
with
talking about
players. You can have the number one class coming in, but they come in, you don't know how to use them. You don't know how to put them in the right position. You don't know how to scheme them. You don't know how to bring the best out of them. What good does it do?
so. Do you think that we make a mistake? We making a mistake if we go in house?
Say it again. You saying if we hire within?
Yeah, is that a mistake? Because
Oh
J
man,
Dub said you and him agree. J Dubs feel like I think J Dubs in the comment he feel like it's a talent issue, and I think he feel like you with him because he said Chris and me agree we don't have the talent. That's just a fact. We don't have the championship talent depth. So is you on the side of we ain't got the talent if you had to choose one, or it's the coaching? And is we making a mistake? We go in house.
I mean, that's different, right? Last season we had some talent. We had some talent gaps, right? From what I've seen. What we got coming in with this 26 and 27 class, boy, that we starting to recruit. We starting to recruit at a high level. You see what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it's two different. What season we talking about? But what I'm saying going forward, my thing is that I said from jump, we need to hire the best defensive coordinator that's out there available that we could get. because at the end of the day, I love the position coaches, and I'm old school, right? I don't believe players should hold a program hostage and all that. Like I'm one of them things. Either you here or you're not. If you're not gonna hold me hostage to not to do my job. The long term is we need to get DC in here that's experienced, that knows what to do. We can't focus on if players are gonna leave or not, because they're gonna leave regardless. They eventually got to graduate, or they eventually gonna take another pay raise in the portal.
Hey Chris, I'm with you, but I think Luke Wayful and Thanos can hold me hostage. They'll make me think about it at least.
I,
I'm gonna
I'll
think
go on
about it. Like,
record. I'll go on record. I'm not trying to lose. I'm not trying to lose Thanos.
yeah, it's certain players we can't lose. Look, I will. It would really be this situation. I would really go down my roster and have a one-on-one with all my defensive players. Hey, Thanos, tell me, keep it 100, bro. If we don't hire Henny at DC, and Henny leave, is you still gonna stay? If I get enough,
I believe he
if I get
goes.
enough yeses, then I'ma do it. But if Thanos like he gonna leave and Bucar like he, if the wrong player say they gonna leave, I'ma really have to think about it because Thanos
Again,
that's
but
like a
this
program builder. He like Sean
I
Cody back
understand
in the
that.
day.
I understand that.
Yeah,
And so this is the thing, though. If you look at what we done in the portal, and you look at the recruiting philosophy that we're going to internally, they what it tells me is they're not on the. We have to get this done right now. They're looking for 26 to be the year, especially what we did in the portal, right? Not every. I've been saying this since last year when we first got Bowden, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna build through high school recruiting." I said, "Oh." Internally, they're on a 2 to 3 year plan. Externally, all the fans we saying we want it now, real now. I'm like, I don't think the administration is looking at it like that. They on a 2 to 3 year plan. And
and
so
look,
based off what they're doing, hold on. But based off what they're doing, it tells me, especially with what we did in the proto, is that they're still looking, high school to develop. That they're on this 2 to 3 year plan. So if you're gonna be on a 2 to 3 year plan, then think about it. 2 to 3 years, those players you name ain't gonna be here anyway. You got to think about the culture. Like one of my biggest things is that our culture is bad, right? And how are you going to, especially this is Chad Bowden first year as a GM. So how are you going to set the culture, right? This is your first year. What are your culture going to be like in building this program? Are you going to have a program and you're going to be known that players is making decisions based off keeping players, or is it going to be you gonna do what's best for the program? And if I know anything about Chad Bowden, he has a rule put in place. If you commit to USC, you go in elsewhere, you consider the decommitment. So to me, he seems like a non-tolerant, old school type of guy, to where it's gonna be his way. This is how we setting the culture here. This is how we're doing this. I don't even see him giving in to say, okay, we're doing this so that we don't lose certain players. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what is your culture going to be like? That's what it comes down to.
I don't think we have a bad culture. They didn't let Barry Alexander get away with that bullshit. They got him up out of there. You don't see the players quitting
Leon,
on coaches.
Leon, our culture is bad. It's
No,
undisciplined.
you're
It's
looking
undisciplined.
from the outside looking in, bro. If you look at the fact that they don't let players dictate if they're going to play or not, and they get the bad apples up out of there, you don't see the players quitting on the coaches, giving up. You see the players fight. Look at all those second half wins that we had where the defense tightening up. You don't have that if you have a bad culture. We saw
Well,
what
the
a bad
culture is
coach would look like. Hold on. We saw what a bad coach would look like in 2024 when they lost all those games at the end of the games. They didn't have that this year. So to say that they have
okay.
a bad culture is just a little disingenuous, Chris. Come on, bro.
No, it's not. So let me counteract that. Are we still undisciplined on the field? Are we still making the same mistakes in year one? With not even year one with Riley. We still making the same self-inflicted foolishness, undisciplined plays that who was making with Clay Helton that we've been making for the last decade? Yes, we are. Can we still not tackle still on field like we was even before Riley with Clay Helton? Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
You want to? Yes, we are.
No, we're
Yes,
not.
we are. If you want to look at, time out. Hold on.
That up in the first season, they tackled a lot better. Do we have a lot? And
We still
I go
can't
back to
tackle. What are
hold
you
on,
talking
time out, time out, time out. Here I go with the
about?
same. Here I go with the same thing. The difference between the 2024 team and the 2025 team is a lot of those guys were seniors. The guys that we were playing this year were a lot younger guys who were getting their first run. They weren't bad tackling like they were under Grinch. So don't sit here and say that the team looked like they did under Grinch. They look totally different. Do they have and yeah, we had some, especially that Oregon game. There was some bad personal dumb stuff. Jacoby running over on the sideline trying to get the ball back, but that's not indicative of the entire season.
Wait a minute. You want to talk about one? You want to talk about one game? We can go back every game and find
Hold on,
undisciplined
Chris.
play.
Hold on. Look, I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
let y'all. I know I'm gonna let
Hold on.
y'all
Let me
go at
finish
it.
this real fast. Let me finish this real fast because he just wants to bring out the Oregon game. We can go game by game as far as undisciplined play, right? Missed tackling, same thing, same self inflicted issues. Same thing that we have seen. The culture is is not changing. The culture is not there. That's why when Chad Bowney came in, one of the main things first thing he started doing was what? Working on the culture. That was one of his main objectives when he first came in. That's why he started getting the recruiting class in 26 all together to meet and all this. Because the earlier they get there together, the earlier they get to be cool, be friends. You got better working on the culture, right? So if your GM comes in and the first thing he says that he wants to attack his culture, that tells you that there's a culture problem.
Chris, look.
The difference between hold on. The difference between the defense this year and the Alex Grinch defense is the only difference is Alex Grinch defense would give up a touchdown in 3 or 4 plays. Deontay Lynn's defense gives up to 9. That's, that, they just gave up less big plays. But again, the other big difference is that nobody wants to talk about. Alex Grinch defense played Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. I
Mhm.
mean, when we were in the Pac-12, we
Elite
were playing
quarterbacks.
Heisman elite quarterback.
We
We
played
played
Cam
terrible
Ward too.
offenses. Cam Ward, right?
Sounds like you're regurgitating what you heard off of Inside the Trojans today, buddy. I listened
No,
to
I
that
ain't
same
seen that.
podcast. They brought up the same points.
Well, then that
It's the
makes sense
truth
because
to
I
it.
ain't seen it yet. I ain't
Hey,
seen
look,
it yet.
but look, Chris. This how we gonna get Leon. A great culture, Leon, has an identity. What is our identity? Exactly. If we had a great culture, you would have
I'll go
responded
after
in two
Leon.
seconds.
I'll go after Leon.
Leon can't tell us our identity.
I said my piece.
No, but
Everybody
I'm
has got
saying
their
a
opinion,
good
bro.
culture have an identity. What is I identity? I identity at this point is losing games we shouldn't lose. That's what you can count on with us. We're going to lose games we shouldn't lose, and we're going to lose them at the last second on the last drive, and we all know our defense ain't going to stop nobody.
We
Well,
only
hey,
did that
Chris, hold
one
on, hold
time.
on.
We only did
Chris,
that
what
one
did you
time this
say?
year.
Hey, Chris,
We did
look.
that one
What?
time this year.
Hold on, Leon. Chris, what did you say when we scored and took the lead against TCU? You said, dang, we left too much time.
I said we about to have Illinois all over again.
And it
Oh
happened.
man, you guys are okay.
And look.
Hey,
Think about it. That happened against Tulane too. I could count 4 or 5 losses that we shouldn't have lost, and we lost on the last drive. And when that last drive started, we knew we was gonna lose because that's the culture.
I
So the culture is bad. Look, the culture is bad if I'm watching the game and we up and we just need one stop, and I know we ain't gonna get it. The culture is bad is when we need that stop. Actually, the defense called the right play and 4 players missed tackles. That's culture again because them players that missed tackles, they missed tackles before and didn't get put on the bench. So that's the first thing about culture, your identity and accountability. We has neither. We have
I
neither.
I have to I have to take the side of Leon on this one.
Go ahead.
When we're down 21-10 at halftime at Iowa in the rain and we win that game, that's not a bad culture. That's a culture win.
Look, go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook though, but you can't judge
Uh,
a culture by game by game. You gotta
No,
have
no, no,
the
no, no.
overall feel.
I
The overall feel, right? So let me ask you this, and I'm gonna let you cook Cardinal and Bowl. That last possession Illinois had, did you have confidence we was gonna stop them? That last possession TCU had, did you have confidence we was gonna stop them? That last possession Michigan had, did you have confidence we was gonna stop them?
You
bad
talking about
play.
2024, Carter?
I'm
Bad,
talking about
bad.
the whole regime. I'm talking about you can't judge culture on one game and not even one season. So
You
I'm looking at it as a whole. My Lincoln Riley experience, the only thing I can guarantee is we're gonna lose to a team that we shouldn't, and our defense ain't gonna be able to get off the field on the last drive. That's the
Carter,
only
so
guarantee.
you're bringing up stuff in 2024 when we lost what 3 or 4 games in the final
Leon, do you
possession.
hear
We
me? You got
you,
Leon, you got to
you
understand my perspective. My
I'm
perspective is
talking
you
about your
can't judge a
perspective. You're
culture. Hold
bringing
on.
up something that happened in
I
24 that
got
did
to
not
bring
happen
it
in
up.
2025
I
to
gotta
separate us.
bring it up 2024 because you can't judge a culture off one season. You can
And that
have a
culture,
great culture. Look, you can have a great culture and have a bad season. Pete Carroll had a great culture. They won, but his first season they was 6-6, right? So you can't judge a culture off one season and damn sure off one game. The culture gonna have the impact of your expectations and what you feel. See, a great culture gonna be like, I know every year we're gonna have a disciplined team. We ain't gonna self-destruct, right? We gonna have good clock management. We ain't gonna make the same mistakes. We ain't gonna lose the same damn way every time. Every time USC lose, it's the same way. Missed
not this year.
tackles.
You have to look at year by year, bro. The stuff that
I
you bring up
know.
in
And Leon, I'm looking
all
year
right,
by
bro.
year.
I'm gonna let y'all cook, man. I'm just gonna sit back and listen, bro.
No, go ahead. But I'm gonna let you cook. I'm just saying, you telling me to look year by year, and I'm telling you, Leon, I'm looking year by year. I'm combining it all in one. And when I combine all Lincoln Riley seasons, the only guarantee is we're gonna lose to a team we shouldn't, and we're gonna be undisciplined, and we're gonna miss tackles. Am I lying? The last
You can get
how's
Cardinal
we
Gold.
even
Go ahead,
debating this
bro.
when the last game we played, we lost because we missed 3-4 straight tackles?
Okay, so I just want to make two statements. One, I don't think I agree with you as far okay, culture is not a static thing. It's evolving, right? So I feel like when you're building and you're getting better and you're getting the players you want and everyone's buying in, I think that's buying into the culture and that's creating a culture, right? And I think we improved from 24 to 25. That's why I brought up the Iowa game, specifically that game, because that would have been a game we would have lost the prior year. Now, when you say missed tackles and stuff, every team that loses a game has missed tackles when they lose that game. So I wouldn't say bad play. I hear what you're saying, bad play over time, but when you're improving and you lose the games, you're gonna have bad play to lose a game. But I
well,
wouldn't say it's
Carnival,
a bad
this
culture.
is what we're saying. We're not saying that the culture has not gotten better. What we're saying,
That's
it's
what
not
Carter
where it
said.
needs to be. It's still a
That's what
cultural it's still a cultural problem is what I'm saying. That the culture is still not to the level to where it needs to be. The discipline play, the missed tackles, the poor special teams that we see year in and year out. None of that is still to the level to where it needs to be. It hasn't been fixed.
So do you
So
think?
there's still
So
there
you
still is a culture. There still is a culture problem. Something can be better and still be a problem. It can
but
be better than what it was and still be a problem.
true, but you can only go one direction. Do you think we're going back or forward? I think me and
We're going
Leon believe
forward,
we're
but
going forward.
no, no, no,
Yeah, we
no, no,
going
no,
forward.
no. So we're going. No one is not saying it's the same as year one. What I'm saying is that we still have a culture problem, and there's things that still need to be fixed. And by year five, you would have think these things would have already been ironed out and been fixed by now. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm gonna get direct with it. Lack accountability. We see that
That's a
players
big
can
one.
mess up, and huh?
I said that's a big one.
That's culture though. Yeah. So to me, Like Chris said, everything about the culture ain't all bad. How can I say that when we just got the #1 recruiting class? You know what I'm saying? So it's areas in our culture where we elite, but it's something in our culture that's holding us back though. The accountability and the discipline. If we fix that, then now we got a great culture. Because I feel like everywhere else, I feel like off the field we got a good culture. I feel like we recruit well. I like how we say once you commit, no visits. I love that. I love our culture off the field. It's on the field. It's just the accountability. I feel like we could just be tougher and we could hold our players to a higher standard. And I feel like we could give more players a chance to prove it too.
I
But
just got
everything else
one
is
question.
great. So I see if y'all looking at it like, I guess I'm looking at it on the field, right? And I guess I'm looking at the weaknesses. But I ain't mad if y'all feel like our culture good, because it is good things about our culture. Like I said, we got the #1 class. We got a new facility coming. Once you commit, you got to lock in. I love all
So
that.
I just got one question. If the kicker from Illinois misses that field goal and we win that game, do we have a good culture?
No, it's just the thing. How can we base off them missing the field goal
Because
our
we would have
culture?
been 10-2. We would have only
No,
had
but
2
no, Cardinal
losses
and Bo,
against ranked
you still
teams.
not realizing. Me and Chris is coming to this conclusion of the totality of the whole regime. You keep pointing to one game. You can't do that about culture. Because
Yeah,
if we
and
win Illinois,
you can't take a mishap of another team and give that props to our culture because they missed a field goal.
exactly.
If we would have finished
No,
with 2
he was just
losses
making a
against 2
point
ranked
because
teams and we're
Carter
unranked,
brought up the fact that we keep losing these single score games, and what Cardinal Gold is saying, if we'd have won that game, which means we wouldn't have lost that single score game, does that change the culture? And let me add one more thing to that. If you actually go back to that game, the defensive stand before, didn't Eric Gentry cause a fumble that we got that score and took the lead? So
Yeah,
I think defense,
as they was going into the end zone.
but did it, Christian, don't say go to in. So did he make a defensive
They
stand and get the ball back for us so we
as
wouldn't
they
have yes or no?
as they was going into the end zone. The two
Yes or
times we
no?
stopped Illinois, the two times we
Yes or
stopped
no?
Illinois in that game, they ran the
Yes
ball
or
all the way
no?
down the field and fumbled going
Yes
in
or
the end zone.
no? Christian, yes or no? Did Eric Gentry make a play to get us the ball back and we went down and scored? Yes or no? Take the lead. Yes or no?
Going into the end zone.
Did never mind. Okay.
But we still
Listen, bro,
lost.
I'm gonna call it tonight. I'm gonna go downstairs and spend some time with my wife, man. I'll get with y'all later.
Oh, Leon,
Hey,
you
but
got in your
listen,
feelings, bro.
though,
Nah.
but
You
regardless of
can't
the
be
fact
like
that we
that,
still
bro.
lost the game. No matter if Gentry caused the foul, we still lost the game. It's not a
I was
coach.
just trying to make a point, bro. I was just trying to make a point because the point was Carter asked the question, did you have faith that USC was going to make a play on defense? And what I was trying to get across was the defensive series before that, we did make a play on defense to get the ball back and go down, score, and take the lead. So the point I was trying to make was, yeah, there was a possibility the defense could rise up and make a play. That's all I was trying to make. I wasn't talking
Nah,
Leon,
about
hey, the
they
defense.
Leon, we
scored.
Hold
was
on,
on the live.
look.
I was just
We
trying to
were
make a
talking about
point.
we was on the live. It was not one USC fan or anybody watching that game in America had any confidence that we was gonna stop Illinois on that last drive. Everybody was complaining that we scored too fast. And I was on there saying, no, we didn't score too fast. You gotta take the points. You can't play
Nah,
around
Chris.
when you down. You gotta go get the end zone. You gotta
Nah,
get in the end
Chris.
zone.
Christian,
I
I didn't
predicted a
say I
stop.
didn't. If you go back and look in the forums, I never said we scored too fast. I didn't say that. So I'm not everybody.
Nah, look. I thought we was gonna win that game, especially after we took that go ahead touchdown. Because I had predicted the touchdown, and I predicted the turnover. I'm like, we gonna get a play, right? And we did. I ain't gonna lie, Leon got a point. The defense actually made 2 impressive stops that game in the second half. That gave me hope. But this is the problem, though, Leon. Look,
Carter, let me ask you
when
this.
wait,
What
hold on. I'm
what
gonna let you go.
hold
I'm gonna let
on.
you go.
Was they how were they impressive to you when both the stops they was going into they had ran the ball all the way down the field, it was going into the end zone to score.
It don't
They was
matter when you make
impressive.
a
It was
stop, Chris.
impressive to me
It doesn't make a
because they
difference when
hadn't
you make a
stopped
stop.
nobody the whole
It
game.
it
It don't make a
does. It
difference.
does because the only two times that
It
we stopped
doesn't.
them that entire game was them fumbling to the end zone, which means we could not stop them at all.
Well, we can't say USC didn't make no stops this year because they made a stop in the Iowa game. They made some stops in the what
No, hold on,
game was
time
that?
out.
But look,
They
y'all,
made
We're talking
culture
about
stops
the
in the
ain't
first
just
Illinois
three
game.
games of
culture.
the second half
Culture ain't
where
just
they
defense
shut
though.
teams out.
Culture ain't just defense. But look, check this out. Leon and Cardinal and Bowl. When y'all like, if he would have made this field goal. When y'all like, if that, and point out games we could have win. You know what it sound like? It sound like Lincoln Riley when he say we were so close. We're so close. We don't want to
Sound like
hear that no more. At
No,
this
Cardinal
point,
sound
like
like
Bowl was
we
Clay
just
know
trying to
why
make
Helton.
we
a point,
lost.
Carter. That's
Let
all.
me
He
give
was
you a
just trying
great
to make a point.
example. Let me give you a great example. When we played Northwestern, and I believe Maeva threw that interception, and he ran in the corner, and he dove, and he tackled that dude, and the ball came out. Everyone was saying that was a reflection of good culture.
Because he could have gave up on it and just let the dude score.
I
All right,
think,
let
but
me
this is what we're saying. This is what we're saying, and I think there's a confusion. We're not saying there's everything about the culture is bad. What we're
But you
saying
said
is,
bad culture, though. You said bad culture.
Yep.
yeah.
You were definitive
He
What
in
I'm
your
bad
saying
Lincoln
statement
is,
about
Riley.
bad culture. You never
let me
said
let me
parts
let
of it is
me
bad,
let,
parts of it is
let me
good.
let me finish stating what I'm stating, because I think I said this 5 minutes ago, right? So that we all aware. So let me firmly state, not firmly, but express what I'm saying so it's understanding. When I said we have cultural issues, we have cultural problems. That's not saying there's some things about the culture that hasn't changed since year one or that's not getting better. I'm saying we still have cultural problems. We still have some issues that need to be addressed within our culture to get fixed. That's not saying everything is bad. I'm saying there are still areas within our culture that needs to get fixed, and those are things that me and Carter have pointed out that well we agreed on those certain things.
and I point out directly problems. We need better clock management, right? We need better discipline. We need better
I agree with
accountability.
discipline. I agree with accountability, better tackling, but most important
We need a
is
special teams
discipline.
coach. That philosophy need to change.
Well,
Well, it seems
Carter,
like
I can
I
tell
hear
y'all
they're trying to get
exactly
one.
related.
what's wrong
Clock
with
management is
the
not
culture.
culture related. Having a special teams coach
No,
to coach special teams
it
is
is
not
culture
culture
related.
related.
Yes, it is. You know
Okay.
why? Because you saying that philosophy ain't a part of the culture. So if I don't have a special teams coach, that's a part of my philosophy. So that is culture. What are you talking about? The culture is everything combined. The culture is from the weight program to the play calling. So like, what are you talking about? Not having a special teams coach ain't a part of the culture. Yes, that is. We have a culture where we feel
And
like
technically, we
we
do
don't
have a
need a
special
special
teams
teams
coach.
coach.
We
How is
actually
that
do have a
not?
special
So
teams
I
coach.
see why we going wrong, Leon, because your definition of culture, you got a pen? Your definition of culture ain't even the same as me and Chris. My definition of culture, if y'all don't know, is everything that go into making the program successful. So yes, that's your philosophy. Matter of fact, the philosophy is the number one thing. Because the
But
philosophy is
we
gonna be your mentality. So
yeah, but
how
we
not
are
having a
looking at
special teams
bringing
coach
in a
is
special
not
teams
part of the
coach.
culture.
I have heard that we are looking at bringing in a special teams coach.
And think about it.
We have a special teams
Look,
analysts already on the staff.
no, forget an analyst. That's why we still suck. We need a special teams coach. That's why we wasted Zachariah Branch and Makai Lemon at special teams. With a special teams coach, Makai would have returned a couple. I didn't see Makai return not one punt because we suck at special teams. Zachariah didn't return no punt against no Division One. Zachariah returned all his punts against San Jose State and people like that. When we got into real competition, Zachariah couldn't return nothing, and he was an elite punt returner. That's because we don't have no special teams coach. We wasting our kick and punt returners. And on top of that, we give up a lot of returns. We gave up a punt return to Notre Dame. I done seen us give up punt and kickoff returns, and we don't get none ourselves. So yes,
You
that's
just
the
need to start
culture.
holding like everybody else, then we get some punt returns.
That's making excuses.
No,
I'm just
no, no, no,
stating
no, no.
facts.
Hold on.
Facts are not excuses, bro.
So you saying
But to me,
that our
but
special
wait,
teams
to
suck because
me,
we don't hold?
Carter, don't
to
take me seriously, man. I meant that as a joke. Come on, man. Chill out.
Oh, okay.
okay, I was gonna say
Let me know.
because to me, look to me that's part of culture too. Because Notre Dame coach, what he say? I don't care if my players get play aggressive and get a couple of holding calls. If the ref don't call, the ref don't call it.
That Freeman comment was some clown shit. Because they, anyway, we ain't gonna go back into that. That game's over with. But seriously, yo, I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. I'm gonna spend some time with my wife, man. Hello?
Carter, you there?
I'm here. I can hear you, Cardinal,
He
bro.
need to work on his Wi-Fi. But listen, fellas, I'll talk to y'all later, man. Y'all stay peace.
All right, Leo.
All right.
I can hear. I can hear y'all. I don't know what happened to him.
So I just got one more question on the topic, because I do think we probably. I think maybe I'm looking at it culture versus winning culture. I think you can build to a winning culture. You can have a good culture. So here's the question I have for you guys, and I hate to even bring up the school, but I'm gonna bring them up. So if the last 2 years you look at what Oregon done in the regular season, and then they got to the playoffs and they got blown out, is that a good culture or a bad culture?
It's a bad culture. To me.
Okay, now listen. If
Having
you
too
standing on that, I'm okay with that.
there.
But I'm pretty sure most Ducks would say they don't have a bad culture.
So here's my
Well, they
thing.
got
Because
they
they
got
lost.
different standards in it. They ain't never won a championship. You know what I'm saying? They got different standards than a USC fan. They be happy with winning the Big Ten. They happy just making the
So,
playoffs. This
but
USC.
here's my thing. Here's my thing. When it comes to Oregon's identity and Oregon's culture, I'm not even an Oregon fan, but I know what it is, right? What their culture is, it's based off physical play up front, physicality, and a coach who gonna play aggressive. He's going for it on fourth down a lot. No matter where it is, he trusts his player. He's going for it on fourth down. Dang near don't matter where they at on the field. He's going for it, right? A player make a mistake, he pulling them off the field. He holding them accountable. He's getting into them. I know each coach is different. That's not Riley's thing. For one, Riley don't got time to do that during the game because he's in the playbook, right? I understand that. I don't have a problem with Riley being offensive coordinator, but I'm saying when it comes down to their culture, they're a lot more disciplined, physical, aggressive, um, mean streak that we gonna punch you in the face. That's their culture.
Yeah, they culture at least got an identity. They culture better than ours because they got an identity. You feel me? They just ain't got the culture to take them over the hump. So I feel like even if say if Dan Lanning was at USC and he brought his coaching staff and their culture, I don't think he would do more with our talent than what our coach is doing right now. So that's why I said they culture bad. It really ain't bad, but I don't think they culture would take us over the top.
So
Hey, can I?
this is Oregon's problem. This is Oregon's problem. Oregon's problem is not a culture problem. Oregon's problem is when they play these elite teams in the playoffs, they get out coached. Dan Lanning gets out coached.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Hold that point. So you could have bad coaching, still have a good culture. Is that what you're saying?
He
Yeah.
said out coach. He didn't say he was a
I
bad
know,
coach.
I
He said
know,
out
I
coach.
know. I'm saying you can have bad coaching and still have a good culture, right?
Yes.
That's how I look at
Not to me.
USC. You can still have bad coaching and still have a good culture.
I don't look at it. I don't think. I think your culture start with your culture. So I don't think you can have a bad coach in a good culture. Now it could be positive things about your culture. Like you could be a bad coach, but at the same time you still hold your players accountable. You could be a bad coach, but still know your team identity. Like we gonna run the ball, we gonna be aggressive in the trenches, we gonna pressure the quarterback. You can know that, but you still could be a bad coach.
Hey,
So it's
listen.
tricky. Like culture is so much, it's so many layers to culture, and it's so many things that factor in it. Nobody really is going to be terrible at all factors, right? But the key is the difference between the Nick Sabans and the Pete Carrolls is that you elite every year at every aspect of culture. I feel like Oregon, they be having too many mercenaries. That's why they can't win the big game. Too many 1-year players, too many players that came there just for the bag. You ain't gonna win like that. That's what I think hold Oregon back. They get players
I
that's
think
bag
what I
chasers.
think what I think what holds Oregon back. If you look at the game, right? You look at the end of the game. You look at the Ohio State game last year. It simply came down to X's and O's.
So you feel like they got blew out that first time by Ohio State because of X's and O's?
Oh yeah, they were totally out schemed from the jump, and they didn't have an answer defensively. They didn't know what to do. And the same against Indiana. Kurt Signetti and his staff did a great job. They said, okay, this is what we did to y'all in the first game. They came out with an adjustment for Oregon's adjustment. They said, okay, this is how we beat them the first game. Oregon's gonna come out. They're gonna make adjustments to try to stop us from doing what we did the first time. So what's our adjustment to their adjustment? And they came out and they hit Oregon with that adjustment. If you
Hey,
remember the
but
first
check,
game when they go ahead.
go ahead. No, I'm finna
I was
say, but
gonna
check this out though. I'm not an Oregon fan, but I'm gonna say this: Oregon got beat by Ohio State last year, which eventually was the national champions. Oregon got beat this year by Indiana, which could probably be the national champions. So when it comes to the
Supposed
playoffs,
to
whoever
get
Oregon plays is probably going to win the
embarrassed.
national championship.
Hold on, but look,
Hold on, but look.
you don't get embarrassed the second time you play them teams. They beat Ohio State in the regular season, then got embarrassed. They was competitive with Indiana and then got embarrassed. So I don't think that's something to be proud of. They just unlucky to run across the best teams in the playoffs. They just got the unlucky draw.
Unlucky draw.
I don't feel like they
I
the
don't
second
feel.
best team. I think Miami would beat Oregon too. Shit, if you ask me, Miami would beat Oregon too. So it ain't like Oregon being the second best team. No, they just ran into the national champions and got smashed though.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's just a bracket issue.
Yeah,
I
that
think
is a
that's
bracket
what
issue.
I think that's what Oregon. That's the spin that Oregon be putting out there because they're very slick with their propaganda.
Right.
If Texas A&M had a better offense, they would have lost that game.
You mean Tech? Texas Tech? Then they play Texas Tech?
The Texas Tech had a better offense.
Yeah, and they basically had
That
a bye
defense
week
played
when
out
they
of its
played James
world.
Madison.
But
Look,
I think
forget Oregon though.
culture topics. I think that's a good topic, man. I mean, you guys got me thinking for sure. I mean,
look at what the comments say on the screen.
what to say?
But if USC had a bad culture, they would have had no more recruiting class this year too. So they're trying to
Wait.
fix
Say
it.
that again,
I
Rico.
think
Say that
I
again,
said
Rico.
overall.
again, um I think everybody is still misconstruing what we're saying. When we're saying there's a culture problem, we're not saying every aspect of USC culture is a problem and that it's not gotten better in Riley's first tenure. What we're saying is there's still areas of the culture that we're seeing that's not fixed that was prevalent in year one. That's what we're saying. We're not saying every aspect of the culture is bad. We're saying we still have culture issues that need to be fixed. That there's still things we're seeing every year that has not been addressed yet that needs to be fixed. And Oregon didn't lose that second game to Indiana. Oregon didn't beat themselves. Indiana beat Oregon. Oregon didn't say, "Here, Indiana, you take this ball." Indiana forced them into them turnovers all except one.
Hey Chris, you know B Jinx want to do anything to rain on Indiana parade. Like if they win the national championship, you might be doing
Oh,
the show by
stop!
yourself
Don't
that day.
stop!
You might be doing the show yourself that day because B Jinx gonna go into hiding if Indiana win.
Stop!
He is not gonna
Stop!
want to talk.
Hey,
Don't let him blow Miami out You gonna need a new co-host.
Listen. I want Miami to win because I want to see Michael Irvin go crazy.
Oh boy.
So you want to see Michael Irvin overdose off that Christina Aguilera? I'm I'm I'm
But
scared for
listen,
Michael Irvin if they win. He might
but
not
listen,
wake up the next morning.
I didn't notice last week that the Indiana after the Miami game they were playing national championship in Miami. I did not know that until
I
after
know.
Yeah,
that call.
it just so happened. It just so happened it's at the Orange Bowl this year.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You know
They
what
So
would
got
be
the luck of the
crazy?
draw. They got like we did though. Like when we went to the Rose Bowl and lost to Texas, man. Like that's the first thing I thought of too. Like Miami had the home national championship game. I was like, man, I remember when we had it too, man. Like I still
One
ain't
of the
over that.
things I'm looking for, Carter, is how many Indiana fans are going to be present in that Miami stadium? Can they make it red? Because that's going to be
They
tough.
coming. They
So
coming because they came the
did
last
you see
game.
what they did? Did you see what they did in Atlanta? That's what I was about to say.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
When I saw that, man,
they
I couldn't
coming.
believe it. I couldn't believe that for a playoff game. That was unbelievable, man. I mean, all I
Well,
saw was red.
check it out. For a school like Indiana, who's been at the bottom pit of college
Yeah.
football for years, as a fan, as an alumni, you're not gonna let this opportunity pass you because
Mm-mm.
it's very rare for this university, and you
Right.
don't want to miss this. So they coming.
well,
Yeah, they coming for
I know
sure.
You
Indiana
can't take anything for granted. That's one thing it'll tell you about anything that you've been on. You played in the playoffs or any NFL people call you here. The next year is not promised. It's not a given. Look at Penn State, right? Made it to the game before the championship last year. Returned pretty much the whole team, and look at the season they had. So them fans
Damn.
going because you got to take advantage. You got to take advantage of it now. You got to get it done while you there because you might not get it again.
why did
Chris,
Indiana better win? Because
you know
if
why
Kirk
they?
should
You know another reason they go to? Cause it's Miami. They they can this is an excuse to go to Miami. Shit. If I was somewhere down south, I would go just to go to Miami. So
Yeah, I'm not going. Parking is like $1,000.
Well, so, so
Them
since
tickets,
oh
them
yeah,
tickets so sky high. Yeah, I ain't messing with it. Hey, I go down there and be
look,
outside the stadium
Chris, you
hanging
got to
out.
be a G. Chris, when I go to USC games, we park around the corner. You got to know the little parking spots. In Miami, that's Miami, so it's hood around there, just like USC. Like when I go to USC games, I'm
I'm just
parking
saying,
in the
ticket.
neighborhood.
Have you seen ticket prices? Even for
Oh,
nosebleeds, it's
yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, you gonna have to have money to go. Period. So whoever going, money ain't a problem with them because if it is, then your ass need to stay home. Then anyway, you got your priorities twisted. So everybody who going got that bag for sure, for sure. And it's a trip to Miami, a great city that you will want to see anyway. So I think it's still gonna be more Miami fans. I think it's probably be about like 60-40.
about 70-30.
You think Miami 70-30?
Hell yeah.
I think it's gonna be closer to 50 because they automatically gonna reserve some tickets for Indiana people. They alumni, they automatically gonna have a section. So it
You
like
know
how they
what?
do it is
Music makes a good point because they did take over Mercedes-Benz Stadium for that game, but that wasn't neither team home field. This one is actually Miami home field, so Miami probably gonna have a bigger number of people there.
oh, they guaranteed to have a bigger number. I'm just saying Indiana, they gonna fill up all them open slots because what they can't
Yeah, they
do
gonna travel.
is just sell all the tickets to Miami fans. They got to make sure Indiana fans get tickets.
Hey
Like,
Carter,
yeah.
earlier in the conversation, you were talking about the philosophy of building the team.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you look at Indiana, you could say that they fast tracked a way to get to a veteran type of team. This is why I
Mm-hmm.
don't think USC should play that. I like what USC's direction they're going because here's the thing, Carter. If you do the transfer portal, That doesn't guarantee you to get all these guys from Cali. You're just gonna have a bunch of players from everywhere. And
Look,
if we
I
want to be
agree
a
with you.
Cali focused team, you know what I mean, to keep to build a good culture, then I like that direction better. It's risky, right? Because then you might play a Indiana that what are they saying? The average age of Indiana is like 23, 22.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah, so you mentioned that earlier, so I just wanted to throw that out there, man. Like I like the direction USC is going because when you say have a team of mercenaries, I think that's eventually what you have. I mean, you look at what happened with Colorado. You know, as soon as Shador and Travis left, now everybody's abandoning ship because it ain't popping no more.
Yep. They came for
Well,
the
Indiana
wrong reasons. They came for the wrong
got a
reasons.
bunch of mercenaries, and look what they had, undefeated.
Who?
Indiana.
Look,
I
but
would
this
say
what
they
you
have
ain't
good
realizing.
coaching.
Look, this what you ain't realizing. Most of them mercenaries came from James Madison. So these
Yeah,
mercenaries ain't mercenaries chasing the bag. These are mercenaries following a coach.
yeah,
The
good point.
difference. And they
Here's
bring
the
in the same
difference.
culture. They bring in culture continuity.
Here's the difference because it goes back to culture, right? Because what is
Mm-hmm.
Cignetti's culture? He said it on the field after they beat Alabama, right? How are you successful? He said we have a lot of experienced starters. We look for players that has proven production, experienced players over potential. We don't recruit potential. We don't recruit players whose goal is to make it to the NFL. We recruit players who want to win. That's his culture. That's in a nutshell. That's their culture, right there.
But hold on,
That tells
Chris,
you a
you
lot.
right. Look, Chris, you right. But this is where I'm gonna push back. This is a teeny bit. You gotta look at it like that when you coach in Indiana, though, because before Signetti made them popping, they wasn't gonna get the players with the uber potential. Them players gonna go to Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Oregon. So when you at a school like that, you have to have that approach because you ain't gonna get the potential dudes anyway. Now they can, but when
But
he
we're not
got
talking
there,
about we're not talking about Indiana culture before we got. We're talking about the culture that he did at James Madison at that other small
okay.
school before James Madison. That's why he said, "Google me, I win." This has been his culture.
But put it like this, Chris. In this 27 recruiting class, if a gang of 5 stars want to go to Indiana, he's going to accept them. He ain't gonna say, "Oh, y'all this potential." Instead of signing all these 5 stars, I'm gonna wait to the portal. No, he's gonna take all the 5 stars that want to go. So that's why I say that's slightly bullshit. Because if the 5 star players want to go to Indiana, you're not gonna deny them.
So his motto is different than the USC motto, right? His motto is he wants to minor in high school and major in the portal. That's what he
Because I
does.
feel like he has to at this point in Indiana because they wasn't hot. Everybody want to go to the Ohio States of the world. You feel what I'm saying? Indiana is a basketball school. Like, let's keep it 100. Indiana a basketball school. So you gotta have that mindset at Indiana until you start recruiting and seeing, oh, these 5 star players want to go there. All I'm saying is, Chris, I feel like he had to take that approach. I don't believe that no coach is gonna turn away potential.
Yeah,
Yeah,
also
ain't no
too.
coach is finna turn away
Somebody,
from the next Travis Hunter or the or
it
or
sounds
or,
like
or,
it
or the
sounds
next
like
Arch Manning. Well, he overrated, but you get what I'm saying. They ain't finna turn
it
away
sounds
no.
like it's somebody else, but I don't see him.
So the Indiana thing, Carter and Bowl, we talk about. I debate with B Jinx about that all the time, and I'm with you. I don't want to take the Indiana approach. I just want to take the approach of retaining. If we retain, we don't have to go into the portal because we gonna recruit the talent.
Yeah, I
So
agree with
we
that.
don't gotta go to Indiana way. We just gotta develop the players that we get. So say for instance, all right, look, Indiana just got Nick Marsh, right? I
Yeah,
say to I say to look better than Nick Marsh,
Mm,
right? And then
no,
I say Booby Feaster got the potential to be better as well. So it's like, okay, Indiana, that's right. You got a proven player, a star at receiver, but we got star at receiver too. All we got to do is focus on retaining them. See,
Yeah, I agree with that.
USC's, they gonna start off with the Nick Marshes and all these dudes that transferred, but it gonna be up to us to keep them. So, like I said, going to Indiana approach to me is like punting on recruiting. It's like saying we can't get the talent we want and keep them.
I agree with you 100%. And I would also say the Indiana situation is unique to Indiana, man. That's why it's such a good situation. He's running his own kingdom in the perfect location. He doesn't
Right.
have to worry about, if you're a player, you go to Florida State, you got to worry about going to the club, going out. You got to worry about all these things outside of the field. He could build his football culture at a school that's not even known for football. So he could plant his flag and say, these are the rules. If you with it, you with it. If you're not, you can go to another school. He can do that. USC is always going to have a challenge because it's LA. You got guys like Bear Alexander might come to LA, never been to LA. You know what I mean? I agree with you on that, man. I think it's a whole different dynamic. And here's the thing, Carter. We don't know if the Indiana plan could work over the next 3 years. Now, do they care if they win the national championship? They don't care. But can they sustain that plan? Are they always going to get the transfer portal guys? Because my main issue is if you take away Fernando, the quarterback, I don't think they're as strong as they are. I think that quarterback makes that machine work.
But we gotta give them credit because Fernando wasn't balling like that at Cal though.
Yeah, he wasn't. You're right.
So I look. I think Cignetti's success is because he's a great coach. I think the experience helped, but I feel like he could do that with 21 and 22-year-olds if they good players. I don't think that Cignetti gotta have 23-year-olds to ball. I think he got a great. Think about it. Cignetti got the blueprint. We know how we were talking about culture.
Yeah,
he was under Nick Saban.
Exactly. That's
so he got the blueprint. So that philosophy that Nick Saban is try, test, and improve. Nick Saban didn't have to go into the portal. So with that philosophy, you gonna win regardless. If the player 25 or 20. Because you're gonna hold that 20-year-old to the same standard that you hold a 25-year-old. If you out here on the field, it's no excuses. Do your damn job right. And if you don't, I'm gonna get on you and hold you accountable.
I got a point.
So Lincoln Riley should have brought that Bob Stoops coach with him to USC.
Yeah, as an advisor at least, because Bob Stoops, he know how to build a program.
So I think this is the root issue that I've been discussing. And I think we have to get to the root. Do you think an 18-year-old is going to always – we're not talking about the anomalies. We're not talking about the guys that just – we're not talking about Randy Moss as a freshman. I'm talking about the average freshman. Shouldn't the average veteran at 22 be better than the 18-year-old, 17-year-old?
Of course.
So then his strategy is a blueprint, but it's also a detriment to high school players.
But look, this is what I'm saying. Look, this is what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying. But look, if you keep with this philosophy, you ain't gonna have to go to the portal. You're gonna naturally have them older players on your roster. Because guess what? You're gonna recruit, develop, and retain. So if you stay consistent throughout the years, you automatically gonna have a nice balanced roster with experienced players, young players. You're gonna have the right balance. If you just recruit right, retain, and develop. You get what I'm saying? So you the 21-year-old is better than the 18-year-old. But if you retain your players, you ain't gotta go into the portal to get a 21-year-old. You got them right there on your roster. And guess what? Not only is they on your roster, they've been in your system the whole time.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that. In today's NIL and portal, saying we gonna develop this roster in 3 years, we gonna have this experience and these great players, it's not realistic.
It is because you got to say
it's not. We just had a 5-star quarterback go because he ain't getting no playing time.
I know the quarterback position. Look, I agree. No, I agree with you. With the quarterback position is tricky. But I feel like the other positions not because you can still get
We just
playing
had
time,
okay.
right?
What about
So so
What
look, so
about
look,
Gus? What
Longstreet.
about Gus Cordova? He was mad because he redshirted and didn't play, so he left.
See, this the thing. To me, that's a he left because the dudes wasn't in front of him, wasn't doing nothing, and he like why he can't get no snaps, and he left. And look,
So Carter, all I'm saying is, if we banking on that people gonna stay for 2 and 3 years in this day and age in NIL and portal, it that's very hard to do and unrealistic to
but hold
think.
on, Chris. Hold on, Chris. It's still always more players who stay than go, right? And that's why
That's
I
true.
said so. That's why I said, look, Chris, you have to put your focus on recruiting, developing, and retaining. Remember Ohio State? Remember Ryan Day said, I need 20 million just to retain the roster. Remember? So,
Yeah, when they gave it to him.
so if we make it our business, if we say we gonna spend whatever dollar we need to retain the players that we believe in, then we could keep them players if we willing to put our money where our mouth is. That's culture. That gonna have to be our philosophy. We're gonna recruit, develop, and retain. These are priorities. So we don't want players that we recruited and developed go to other places and have them ready for other places like Emmanuel Pregnon, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it our
Well,
business.
we did the same thing with Pregnon. We When Pregnon came, we didn't really develop. He was developing what he got from Wyoming, so we can't really take credit for that.
But we took him to another level. He wasn't first round NFL when he came.
He
I
wasn't
remember
facing the
Pregnon had his
same
bumps and
competition
bruises.
either.
From day one, he wasn't dominant. He was inconsistent too, his first
Yeah,
year. But what I'm
And
saying is,
he wasn't first round when he left us neither. That's why he ended up coming back. He was
I
projected
know, but
like
I
late.
feel like he was gonna get better with his at some point, experience gonna make you better, not just a coach. At some point, the game is gonna slow down, is more snaps, more reps. Mental programming, your brain is gonna get better at doing what you're doing as the years go by. You know what I'm saying? So if you got that solid foundation, you already got your technique down, your fundamentals, your mind is right. You just gonna get better with experience. At that point, all the coach got to do is play you. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, Chris, is no, you can have an experienced roster without going transfer portal heavy if you focus on retaining. If you say, just how we said with this recruiting class, right? We said, we breaking the bank. We was committed to that. All we got to do is be committed to keeping them. And then you say
But
Longstreet.
the problem comes in. The problem comes in is breaking the bank to keep them and breaking the bank to bring in the next top class. It's not infinite NIL. That's where the issue come in, and hard decisions got to be made, and people got to be let go.
Okay, but look, I think we got the money to do it. I think we got the money to do both. I mean,
And if we
Ohio
got the
State
money
did it.
to,
Look, Ohio State did it. They spent millions of dollars on retaining and the same amount on recruiting.
well,
So
they
yes,
got what happened is he went back and he asked them for an additional 20, and and his boosters, whoever they end up giving it to him. I think if we had it, we would have made a bigger splash in the portal after taking 35 and paying all those kids. Then in the portal, we would have been a lot more aggressive, especially with some of those linebackers that we were wanting as fans that we know is some straight dogs and different makers, and you know what I'm saying, a couple other positions that if we had the money, we would have been more aggressive in the portal.
I know.
so
And look, a part of the reason why we ain't aggressive in the portal because we probably already thinking about that retained money. And you don't think Chad Bowden is gonna get some more money to retain his golden recruiting class, his best recruiting class ever? So at the end of next year, if Waffle like he want more money, I guarantee you, if he would we thought he was, we gonna get him more money. Right? Jamion Winfield, the players that must keep, I feel like we gonna keep them. The stars, we gonna keep them. Cause I seen us even do that with Bear. Like remember Bear had hopped in the portal, we renegotiated and got him back. Cause at that point we felt like he was a necessity. So we may not got the money to retain all 35 and increase their pay, but we got the money to keep the ones that we can't lose. Right? So out of this 35 class, it probably be like 15 of them that we can't lose. Like these are foundational, right? So right now, I'll say this judging from right now, Kenye Pepe, we can't lose him.
Waffle,
Vlad, we can't lose him, or
waffle,
Cole J.
waffle, waffle.
Yeah, Wayful, we can't lose him.
Waffle.
Winfield, we can't lose him. Albert Hill, we can't lose him. Right? It's certain players. Long as we don't lose them NFL prospects. Any player that's like, yeah, that's an NFL guy for sure. Long as we keep them, we good. Because every recruiting
To be
class ain't
honest,
go hit
to
anyway.
be to be to be honest, to be honest, it's USC. To me, our retainment and all that should be around those can't miss NFL guys on the offense and defensive line. We will always get skill position.
Hey, but a lockdown corner, and we got if Albert Hill come out to be a lockdown corner who can shut down the whole side of the field, then he fit that category too. Because
So,
who made the most money in the NFL on defense? The defensive end is in the corners. So a
But
I
lockdown corner, if he's
me
a lockdown
personally,
corner,
me personally, me,
he worth
me
like a GM
personally,
money.
me personally, I'm retaining any of the can't miss guys on the offensive and defensive line because that's our struggle year in and year out.
but
Of course, they first and primos. But if I got a linebacker, a wide receiver, and they just dominant and they great, I'm keeping them too. Because guess what? You might end up playing them in the playoffs. Like these players gonna go to teams that you finna compete with. You hear me?
And boy, I'm gonna be so mad we play Wisconsin and D Jack run for 300 yards. Boy, I'm gonna be hot.
so, so I hear every point you're saying, Carter. Here's a question for everyone. So we mentioned three teams. We're talking about USC. We mentioned Indiana, and we mentioned Ohio State. So you look at USC. Maeva was a transfer, sat a little bit, replaced Miller Moss. Now we got the Longstreet situation. Ohio State, they're starting quarterback. Did he sit for a year? The young
Yeah,
dude.
at Alabama.
Okay, but he transferred to Alabama. Oh, wait, did he stay? I thought he transferred to Alabama and sat at Ohio State. It doesn't really
he
Yeah, he
matter.
transferred.
did.
He transferred,
Okay, he
He
transferred.
and he
transferred from
said
Alabama and then he sat a year at Ohio State.
Okay, so here's the thing, Carter. Indiana, I think you made a point about retaining, but Indiana went and just got a veteran quarterback. So if that's their blueprint,
Each
they'll
year.
always just get a veteran quarterback in the transfer portal.
Well, they
I
do that.
look.
They've done that last year, this year, and this year coming up because they got the TCU quarterback coming next year.
Okay, cool.
Look,
Same
So
thing.
here's my
Same,
listen, y'all.
same thing.
Listen, y'all.
Same thing. Oregon is doing. Same thing. Oregon do every year. They bring in a quarterback that's already developed every year.
so for clarification, should we do that?
Nope.
no.
Because if
Okay.
we
No, we
I
don't
don't
we,
need
think
we
so.
to.
ain't in position. Why? Because look, we got Jonas Williams, right? Now, if he come here this first year and he don't pan out, then we do it. Like I was telling my boy Chris on his live. You use the portal to supplement what you need. You don't use the portal to build your team. You use it
Yes.
to after you look at your roster after the season and say what we need to improve at. That's when you go to the portal. Your roster is going to tell you when you go to the portal. And then y'all know with Jaden Rashada, Dylan Raiola, Malachi Nelson, we know the quarterback position is a different animal, right? Because the quarterback, what? You either starting or you not playing at all. If you play defensive end, defensive tackle, linebacker, corner, you could not be starting but still getting snaps and still feel like a part of the team, feel like you contributing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
good
the
point. Good
quarterback is a
point.
different position. Yes, we gonna always lose quarterbacks because once they get beat out, they gonna be gone. But that's not the
And this
case
is
for every other position, though. It's just not. All you gotta do is
and this is
I be talking to these kids, like my little cousin on the team, and I be talking to them dudes. Like my little
and
cousin told me,
this is different between the quarterback situation at USC and the quarterback situation at Indiana and Oregon, right? Unfortunately, those schools are not recruiting quarterbacks to the level that USC can. So we're able to take a top quarterback out of high school and Lincoln Riley we trust. Like people can give Riley a bad rep like they want to, but he know quarterbacks and he know how to coach quarterbacks. And he's proven that, right? If you give him a chance, you get in there, he can get a quarterback right. Or Oregon and Indiana, they're not getting top flight quarterbacks coming out of high school. That's why they're taking them in the. That's why they're grabbing them out the portal.
Exactly.
I
And
hear you.
again, they're again, our philosophy is Chad Bowding and the USC philosophy is they want to focus on develop recruiting and developing players out of high school on the high school level. Major in high school, minor in the portal. He said that when he first came. Everything he's done since then has been aimed at that. Oregon, Indiana, they have a totally different motto. Their motto is they want to go in the portal and bring in experienced production. They're not looking to develop. They're looking to plug and play. Put you in here and you run our system. We don't want to develop you. We want you to already be developed. It's different philosophies of different programs.
I don't know because I feel like Oregon do what I'm saying. They look at their roster and say what we need, and then go hard for that.
I think
I don't think
Because
Oregon. I
Oregon,
don't think
because
Oregon does that.
Oregon, what Oregon
Ever
had a
since
stack.
Landon's been there, ever since
Oregon
Landon
don't
has been
recruit
there.
heavy though. Oregon don't minor in high school. Don't they got the second ranked class behind ours?
No,
they
what
got
I'm
they
saying,
got
we're talking about the
quarterbacks
quarter.
there.
We're talking about the quarterback position. We talking.
Oh
He
yeah,
was
oh yeah, oh
coaching
yeah.
on the
I totally
quarterback
agree.
position.
Yeah, yeah, I
Every
totally agree.
year, Oregon that he's been there, they have pulled a quarterback out of the portal.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah,
The same
Which is
thing.
not a good look because they have talented dudes there. For example, Achilles Smith Jr. is there, and he's not. You know, if I was him, I'll probably look at getting to the portal because now he
he's
got to
still
compete.
there.
Yeah, Achilles Smith
Yeah,
Jr.
he
Yep.
was. He didn't go into the
That's
portal
sad.
this year, and he was there. He was there.
He was there last year for sure. I know that.
And
That's how
he's
you
straight from
know.
Lincoln. He's straight from
That's how
Lincoln
you
High out of
know.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know Oregon paying dudes to sit. Because what quarterback gonna sit that long?
Yep.
Dylan Raiola wouldn't just say, "I'll sit the bench."
Yeah, because his NIL is fat. I bet you he got 1 million.
Hey, there's another thing I want to clarify, Carter. When I mentioned I would hire in house, I want to be
Music made
clear.
me high. I don't know if we want that. That ship has sailed, I think, buddy.
I hear you, but let me just clarify
No, no,
what
I was talking
I
about
mean.
music made me high. He had put in there Juju Lewis to come
Juju
to
Lewis.
USC next year.
Man, he spurned us last year.
Yeah, he got no. He what he did, I would never take him back. I don't care if he's the next Peyton Manning, boy.
Carter
You
Price.
you you used us to get it back from Colorado. Like, get
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah, he used us for leverage and stuff. That was terrible. So let me just clarify the in-house thing. It doesn't mean I necessarily want Henny as the DC. It could be Belk DC, Henny co DC. It could be Belk DC, Rob Ryan co DC. Rob Ryan been a co DC in the NFL. So I just wanted to throw that point out there. It doesn't have to be Henny. It could be a combination of Belk and Henny together.
To me, to me, any one of them gonna have the same effect. It ain't gonna be no difference if you Henny, Belk. It's gonna be because of the players that hire gonna because we want to keep these players in this continuity and then we want to keep their recruiting prowess. So it
Yeah.
don't matter what in hire we make. Like it could be Sean Noah. Like it's still gonna have the same impact that they looking for with the in-house hire. You feel me? I just feel like in the perfect world, we gonna get the DC and keep our assistants. And I think that's what USC trying to do. Like if I really thought it was an in home hire, I think they would have this already announced it.
Yeah, I
I
agree
think
with
I
that.
think they yeah, I think they really trying to find a DC who gonna keep our assistants. Cause come on, man, it's USC. Who ain't gonna want to take that DC job? Like look at the DC jobs that's out there. We got the best one, especially coming out with the number one recruiting class. You hear me? And like the only reason is because we want to keep our assistants. Like so, we trying to have our cake and eat it too. Because I feel like they both is the same as valuable, right? So look, they feel like if we get a DC and get rid of assistants and lose this recruiting class and the current players on our team, they feel like that's gonna set us back multiple years. That's gonna be two steps back. right? But they feel like also if we in-house hire and we don't be successful, these players gonna transfer anyway because we losing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think it depends on your expectations. Our main goal is to go to the playoff. If that's our main goal for now, right? Obviously, it's to win a national championship. But if our next goal, the next step is playoffs. What you just got to be the top. What are they expanding the playoffs? So it's like 14 or 18.
It's gonna be 12 again next year.
Okay, so we just got to be top 12 and we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, but that ain't easy.
True.
That ain't so this is what I said, because we talk about this all the time. This is what I said. It's like the short term, we win it in the short term if we hire in-house, right? If we hire out-house, we win it in the long term. So it's like, what is you gonna value more? Do you feel like the next couple years is the most important, or you feel like this getting the DC, the best DC is most important, and then we'll get there eventually? Like, do you want to be mid for the next 2 years? Do you want to risk being mid for the next 2 years by getting a new DC and possibly losing that talent and we still mid?
No, I want to strike now.
See,
So
so that's
the
the
idea,
dilemma.
yeah. So
That's
the
the
ideal
dilemma.
situation, is to get both of what you're saying. That's where I think it has to be. If it's not in house, I think it has to be a young, up and coming dude that has a good resume. He might not have a name, but I think a young guy might bring some energy in there where we can immediately show that impact, right? Kind of like how Lynn had that immediate impact, but
Mhm.
obviously somebody who has more of a long term um, view on the program. Because what the thing with Lynn was always the question mark on Lynn was always that he never stayed in one place for a long time
Mhm.
until he got to his alma mater, which is, I can see him there 3 to 4 years, but it was a risk when we first got him simply because he was at UCLA that 1 year. And according to some people, if he didn't have that big time DN number 15, his defense might not have been that dominant or at least had the stats and the analytics that everybody would highlight.
Nah, for real. So, like I'm saying, it to strike right now. We don't want to have to build a whole number one class again. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I get what
I
you're
mean,
saying. Like, we want to strike now. So that's what I'm saying. It's tough. That's why I'm saying, like, they trying to get their cake and eat it too. They want to strike now and long term. You know what I'm saying? So I think
now
USC, they like, I think USC is like, we got to find a good DC that's gonna accept our dudes, pay them a little more. That's all they got to
now
do. Come back to the
somebody in
off.
the
Go ahead.
somebody in the comments section made a great point, which is kind of funny that we didn't mention it. Is hiring an analyst at DC. Do you think an analyst would fit in, like a big name analyst? I don't want to mention Pete Carroll, but that's always a wishful, it's a wish list type of thing. But let's just say someone of his stature to come in and be an analyst at DC. Do you think that would satisfy people, or we need a DC with that official title? So like if Raheem Morris came into DC for 1 year, what would you think about that?
I wouldn't be mad at it. And you said if he came and we kept our assistants.
Yeah, we kept everybody. Raheem Morris just came in. Remember when Cliff Kingsbury kept hanging around the program?
Mm-hmm.
What if a DC came in like that? It might be somebody like that, a young dude from the NFL, come in 2 years, DC analyst, and then he bones out after the 2 years.
I mean, hey, if it's the right dude, see, it ain't even. It's about, do they want to take that position?
Yeah.
It's about convincing them to be the analyst. Like, you ain't the defensive coordinator, but we gonna pay you for your opinion type shit.
Yeah,
So I'm not very familiar on how big an analyst role is. He actually in there game planning, or he just giving your opinion upon ask? You know
that's a
what
good
I'm saying?
point. Point.
Yeah. Is he just a what they call it, a arm coach, a couch coach or whatever, or he really
Yeah,
gonna be game
armchair
planning?
quarterbacking.
Yeah, armchair quarterback. Or he really gonna be at practice coaching up the players? Is he really gonna be designing the game plans? Right. So I don't know the extent to the analyst role to even know the impact of it, and will somebody take that position? Will DC take that position coming out of the NFL? Like you drop
Yeah,
down to college and you ain't even a DC, you just an analyst. I think an analyst is somebody there to give opinion, because remember Cliff Kingsbury, like you said, was the offensive analyst. But we know Lincoln Riley is calling the plays. He drawing up the game plan. He doing the X's and O's. He probably just go to Kingsbury for his opinion. What you think about this?
yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's like I would like it. Look, I think long as if we can retain our assistants and get any good DC, whether we masking it under analyst or DC, I think it's good. I think we rolling the dice either other way. We rolling the dice if we get an outside DC. We rolling the dice with losing the players, right? If we don't get an outside, we rolling the dice. It is not having a great defense again, because Henny or Belk ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? So when you choosing one, you got to roll the dice. And I think USC, they ain't trying to roll the dice. They like, we trying to get both. And they probably feel like with the landscape, with the DC jobs that's out there, they probably feel like they can convince a coach to come near and keep the assistants. I don't think USC is gonna choose if they have to. I feel if they get their way, they gonna get a DC and keep the assistants. So that's why I think it's taking so long. We trying, and I ain't mad at it. That's what I'll do too. Like, we ain't trying to roll the dice on nothing. Like, we don't want to keep the players coach and we suck next year, right? We don't want to hire a new DC and we lose all our recruits. So we choosing neither. And I ain't mad at it. Like, take as long as they need to take to get it right, because you only gonna have one chance. Once you sign that coach, we gotta roll with that. Once you make that decision. So I don't care if we don't find a head DC into the first day of spring. Long as we get it right, long as we ain't gotta sacrifice nothing. Because that's where I'm at now, Cardone Bowl. I don't want to sacrifice nothing. I don't want to lose no recruits, but I also don't want no sorry coaching on defense. So what we gonna do? I'm not willing to accept either. So that's where we at with it, man. I've been on this thing almost like what, 2 hours
Eh,
and 47 minutes.
Well, for my last statement, then I will say this: there is a positive, Carter. We are still getting. We got all those transfer portal guys without the DC, which is a really good sign. So we got the
Right.
edge, we got the DT, and we got the corner. All those guys came without a announced defensive coordinator. That can only be a positive.
Yeah. But it also make you think like, dang, if we had a DC, maybe we could have got more in the portal.
That's true too.
You feel me? Depending on how you look at it. But I think the portal was a money thing. I think we decided to spend the majority on our money on high school players and retaining them. So even if we had a DC, we might would have got a better quality of player, maybe not. Like, but I do think we working with a salary cap per se when it come to portal players. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good sign. That now, that's to y'all point. That's a sign of a good culture, right? That you could get defensive players commit without a DC.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that means is a lot of things about your program that these players like. So
Yeah.
like I say we got an average to good culture, but we need a great culture to win to where we want to be, Cardinal and Bowl. So that's why me and Chris is on that. Like, we feel like if these things don't get fixed, we ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't gonna
Hey
make it.
man. Hey man. Once again, man, I appreciate you letting me to come on.
Oh,
And
anytime, man. Like anytime I'm on live, anybody could come up. I let strangers come up. Like we just talking USC ball. If you love USC, I'm gonna talk to you.
oh man, that's what it's all about, man.
And you've been around for a minute, so you already know.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yup. Everybody fight on. I'm finna get on up out of here. If some more news break, I'm gonna go live again and give it to y'all. You feel me? But until then, man, fight on. I appreciate everybody that came in the chat and watched the live. Until then, I'm out this time.